Hello, everyone, and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns. Today we've got another Ocarina of Time Randomizer Season 6 tournament here. Losers bracket round 2 between idunno and Xavi. I'm starting with Young Days. Adam, how are you doing?
I am doing good, and yourself?
Not too bad. Looking forward to a good match here. We've got ourselves idunno C23 versus Xavi C36 here, facing off in Losers round 2.
Mm-hmm. It looks like
Looking at
these.
our stat screen, got two pretty fairly similar runners in some ways. 9-8
Yeah,
split on their races. First 1v1 they have. Both have a decent amount of race on race time, 140 to 127. Similar best
very,
times
very
ever.
similar.
A lot of
Similar
similar
amount
stats in
of
general, really.
yeah.
So it should
Yeah.
be interesting to see how they do.
This is lower brackets round 2, so one of these racers will be out of the tournament after this, and the winner actually will go on to face the winner of G-Skate versus Sponge whenever that happens.
Oh, and that is going to be a fantastic matchup. Sponge, of course, a previous champion. Champion runner-up of Sponge, of course, one of the greatest runners around, and GSK also an excellent runner. Neither of them want people you really want to get clunked with in losers round 3. Axel, you do get to choose which restreamer. Just
Not
post that as
Tress.
VSR Discord later to redeem. No, Trust has its own channel player award.
Yeah. So it looks like we got a Sun Song Zora Sapphire adult start here.
Yep.
Should be interesting. It looks like we're about to go off here very soon.
Yep. Yeah, as I start someone started a prediction already. Thanks, I guess. Beat me to it.
And we're going to get a medallion check immediately. Forest. Spirit. Wow, this is slow. Jabba Jabba's Belly. Shadow Temple. Fire Temple. Dodongo's Cavern. Also, Skullmask's dead. Sacred Forest Meadow to Vavagia. That was Burning Cack, A Song of Time. And 20 Gold Skulls is dead.
Thanks. The comments page lag, so I missed all of that.
I gotcha. SFM to Vavagia, 20's dead. Burning Cack is Vavagia. And what was
The
that
Burning
other
Cack
one?
is Song of Time.
Burning Cack, wow, brain.
Okay. Yeah, should be a good matchup here between our runners. It's very well matched. idunno is, of course, an excellent Ocarina of Time of course an excellent Majora's Mask randomizer runner. Top runner over there. One there I know recently, a few months back, won their co-op tournament with his partner Check Race. The two of them also won the co-op tournament season 2 of Ocarina of Time randomizer. I do believe this is our first time seeing idunno in the Ocarina of Time main tournament, and I believe the same for Xavi as well, so it should be interesting to see how they do.
Yeah. Well, early CAC play makes sense. Also, that means our stones are Deku and water, which have some unique requirements for them, so hopefully we won't have to see all dungeons, but you don't know yet.
Actually, looking at what our Burning Cack dungeons here are, Forest's Path to Bongo, okay. But, I'm worried about, Requiem or Zelda's Lullaby being on Ocarina of Time, or Nocturne for that matter, because there's a decently non-zero chance of any of those given this not ideal layout of things.
Right. 2 required linear long dungeons, and then a bunch, Dodongo's Cavern is pretty free, but then a bunch of requirements for all the other dungeons.
Here's Blair the Windmill, not one of the songs you would like to see, unfortunately.
Right, and the windmill freestanding is nothing. Yeah, Stonewater may find a way. We'll find out. Alright, we'll see what Anju gives us here. And lots of text. Oh, it's the hovers.
Okay. Always nice to have.
Yeah.
Kinda need those for Shadow Temple eventually.
Oh, hey, look, Big Stabby and the cow. It's the King Zora sword.
Chat commenting that AD and 50 with Casino 7-hour seed. Well, it's not going to be a 7-hour seed. These runners can 100% the seed in about 4 hours
After
tops,
hours,
generally.
yeah. Alright,
If
shield
anything
grave
goes over
time.
3 hours, usually something's got a bit pear-shaped. And if anything somehow goes over 3.5, the seed's a really bad stinker. But all runners in the top 64 brackets should be able to sub for just about everything in decent.
Just about,
Barring
I would
any
say.
unless, they have a VC crash or whichever. Barring exceptional circumstances, there really shouldn't be anything over 4 hours. If there is, you
Well,
might
things
need to have a
happen.
more than your bot.
Yeah. Also, that crate is a bloopy.
Yeah. No, that in I say in these settings because in other settings, you might have that.
4
You may
hours might just be great.
yeah.
I know the RSL match earlier barely finished in time for us to be on the main channel.
Yep. Because speaking of RSL, while we watched them do Dape race, not the most exciting thing ever. We do have another tournament ongoing for Accurate Time Randomizer on the CSR channels. The Random Settings League runs every couple times a year generally. Randomizes the settings within a certain restrictions. And that tournament is currently in quarterfinals, so you will be able to see restreams here and there for that tournament as we go. Nothing at all on Dape race. Yeah.
Oh, free shield. Do get a free shield
nice.
though. But as Cubs would say, hashtag buy a shield, you cowards.
There really isn't much else, though. We are going to get Sunsong Grave since they started with Suns, and then unless this has anything, I guess go get the Bolero song, check out Crater, and go Child. Maybe they really don't have much of anything right now besides a pair of hover boots.
Yeah, so they could get the song, hover across into Goron City to refill their hearts because they don't have many. Oh, hey, look, this is an item.
Speaking of, as I say, they have nothing. This item is a slingshot, which does nothing as adult. Yay!
So basically, this is either Adult River or Bolero play here, most likely. Would be
Bolero
the best
for
bet.
idunno, I'm not surprised. Might be Adult River for Xavi here, it looks like. Yeah, this makes sense for idunno. Get the song, go check out the items in here. Can't get the grotto, unfortunately. No explosives of any kind. I have absolutely no idea what's on that volcano.
Bomb choose is what it looks like
Okay,
to
that's
me.
a spot. There's the L in the crater.
Well, that's nice to have.
Not in a silly spot, at least, so that's good.
Alright. We did not see the wall, didn't peek the wall, but that was bomb choose on top of the volcano.
Yeah. We'll see if there's anything on the wall as to whether or not idunno chooses to pick it up.
I don't know, it is picking up the choose.
Makes sense. Forgot he had those the hovers hormones so that he could get those. Ooh,
Oh, and it's a
20
20 pack. Oh, that's very good. Immediately save quitting.
And apparently not a Kokiri sword on the wall because I would have gone and gotten it if it was. Sure, deck is a stone, but Kokiri sword is a lot of tech is a lot of quick items, and they have nothing right now, more or less.
Right. Well, those bomb choose are that 20 pack is a nice find. That's ice arrows.
I was like, is that a blue period of ice arrows?
Yep, that's ice arrows in the lower river.
I need to remember to commands. I forgot. I'm the researcher today.
I don't know. Is going child. This play makes sense. You don't really have much you can do as adult here. And with the choose, you can do a lot as child. And this hint here is Ocarina of Time is Song of Storms. That locks 17 checks, I believe.
13 in the well, 2 Storm Striders, Frogs 1, and Frogs 2, yes.
So yeah, 17 checks. I can't believe I remember that off the top of my head.
That's mildly concerning as you find that 40 is dead, okay.
Yeah, it's always spooky to see Song of Storms on Ocarina of Time.
Oh, for sure.
It's not as immediate, oh, I have to do all dungeons as Zelda's Lullaby or Nocturne, but it's still a oof moment of, oh god, this could possibly screw me.
Yep,
30
30's
is dead.
dead. We've got
We have
20, 30,
30
and
for
40 dead.
Yeah.
But no 50. Uh-oh.
It is not the worst all dungeons layout, but you still have to find 2 hook shots and the Kokiri sword and iron boots or 2 scales to do it.
Which is not ideal.
So that's either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 items to do all dungeons here.
Yeah.
And possibly even bombs for water.
Or bow, don't forget.
Or bow. So up to possible 7 items to do your all dungeons here.
Or if the bows are in exceedingly stupid places, fire sources too.
Yeah. So just it looks like not a bad layout, but it could possibly bow on Richard.
No, speaking of bows, I guess there's that.
It looks like a possibly bad layout, but it's a good layout, but it's not the best.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would say Deku Dodongo would be your best for just pure only stone dungeons.
Mm-hmm. Xavi not checking Bolero? No, I mean, Xavi knows that there's nothing really he could have get from Bolero that would give him a lot of anything, I guess.
ZL.
Unfortunately, he missed the choose.
And ZL.
I mean, yeah, ZL, but ZL doesn't do a ton as child. I mean, I guess he already knows Storms is on all dungeons, so that's the big thing you would want before going child.
Right, but also, I don't know, has choose to do this and fairy fountains.
That's true. I don't know. It's yeah, it's tricky.
The air is a key.
That the key, sorry. Yep.
Yes, Richard is a good boy.
And
Gerudo Fortress Twin Rova.
Alright.
Interesting.
Load of stuff we can't get to yet between our assorted paths.
Right.
Other than SFM to Volvagia we can get, but not the other two yet.
Mm-hmm.
Note that we have 6 medallion dungeons and only 5 path hints, so we'll see if we have a Dodongo hint or not today, because game can, or fandom can for that matter, because game can be a little interesting sometimes. I still remember commentating. I have no idea who the race was between, but I still remember a interesting race earlier in this brackets where we had 3 paths to Morpha.
Oh god.
Because there was no King Dodongo and no Phantom King in that seed, and there was only 5 medallions, so the game just gave us 3 Morpha paths instead. It's like, did I read that right?
Right.
Was basically our collective reaction to that, was just a, wait a second, what?
Wait a minute. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pyra. Pyra, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but I'm gonna go with the F sound. It's a stick!
Yeah. Is Child Warp or Save Warp just in front of Ranch there? I just saw for Xavi.
Oh, did Xavi save warp, or did he backwalk from market?
I can't tell, actually, is the thing.
I think he backwalked, or I would have noticed a save warp.
Yeah, good point. It's like Fira. Okay, thanks. You're in chat. And
this is...
Pona Song is vanilla. Alright.
Pona says vanilla. Well, we can clear out the Gerudo Fortress path.
Yeah,
if you don't mind
Epona.
If you don't mind fighting the Gerudo guard without hookshot.
Yeah, these guys are fine enough with that being top 64 runners. Yeah. Oh, we get going here. Let's see what's in the silo, and let's do some shoutouts here. Give our runners both a follow, idunno and Xavi, to my co-com Adam, nothing in the silo, there's a safe quit, and to our trackers, Baseball and Mare. Thank you so much for all of your work, and also thank you to Scooby, who's our race monitor today.
Yeah. Alright, where's our child spawn? Drumroll. Goron City?
Darunia's room. Okay.
In front of Darunia?
Spot. No sorry song, so can't go turn him in yet, but that's a free pot check, I guess. Well, free is relative, but I don't know. I think they does know the true threat to get the pot here, so should be fine. Yeah, Dorito doesn't need those all the way to see. Not that it really matters because we have ZL.
Right. Zealous, Darunia, and Pot. Interesting.
Yep. Pretty much a moot point though, because ZL is free in the crater and Valera was in the windmill, so. Both critters are going to use the torch sticks to go light the bonfires to go to Last Woods here in a bit.
Yeah.
So you're wondering what are they doing with that? Especially Xavi, who has no explosives due to the power or anything else, it is just going to pass on through. Oh, the true threat does need the door to be open. Well, good point, Cola. I forgot that. Can't do the true threat for the pot. Requires you to go from the Rudia's room with an open door. I guess a collision works still for the Chew and not for Link. I mean,
you could still, if you could find out the timing without the open door.
I mean, I guess the issue there was a save point. Is that you can't you have to leave to light the torches to get the pot, but you can't get back into the room without a save pit, which would undo the torch lighting. There we go, brains it.
Oh, would it?
I mean, it might. I don't think. I think a save
I
pit
thought
might
that was a
reset
flag.
torches. I'm not sure, honestly. Let's see. In
I
any
thought
case,
once you got
we're in
them all
Lost
lit
Woods.
and it spun, it was a flag.
Maybe. I'm not sure if it's a perm or temporary flag. 50's dead, so it's not a skull seed unless it's 10. Okay. Welcome in, Doc Heaps, trading with a party of 33. Hope you're doing well, Heaps. Thanks for the raid. We just started 15 minutes ago. Seed's not giving us a whole lot of anything so far, but as we get Requiem of Saria, okay, that's a good thing to get. Might be Path to Volvagia. 50 still dead, thank you. Not helpful.
Weird,
and this scrub just sold his double defense. He'll take that.
I think I'm a little behind here. Oh, look, it just resynced. Okay, cool. No, I just resynced.
Child Spirit is now available with that Slingshot. Frogs 2 is more bomb shoes that we are getting.
And
And
the Wasteland is dead. What was the one up at the top?
The topmost one was 50 copy.
Okay. 50 copy. I didn't. We had a 50 yet.
The other one was Lawson's Bomb Grotto just a second ago from idunno, so.
Oh, okay.
Just here and wait. Path to Volvagia SFM is strength upgrade. Okay, as we find out, Bigoron's a stick upgrade, which we definitely don't need. Thanks. Well, that would be helpful. 2 big chests in Mido's house. Jeez. Hookshot and magic. Okay, now the game's giving us everything. Addlestart was boring, and now, hi.
Right.
Yeah, both Requiem and Strength and Forest Meadow Path to Volvagia makes me think that we may have a Hammer and Spirit Temple, possibly.
Yeah. I don't think... Well, Strength is technically required in Fire to push the block and logic. To get up to the top. So it could just be the Strength, but there's no way to tell right now. Also, that Strength is still technically bomb locked. Or hammer locked, actually. Kokiri sword is nothing. Well, not the Kokiri sword, something sword chest. Also, yeah, now we can clear forest.
Yeah, we can. Got a hookshot bow and strength between the 2 runners for that. Bow was on Richard, strength was in the SFM Grotto, and the hookshot was in Mido's house.
Huh. Very interesting. Alright. Let's see what is on our bridge scrub.
Runner's almost synced here, heading for it, as we see Burning Cactus still Song of Time, thanks to Duplicate. And that's fantastically terrible, negative 87.5% return. Thanks. Pay $40, get 5 back. That is not a good return on investment.
That is a horrible investment. You just got scammed.
Yes, you did. Speaking of someone who's
And
in fact a corporate
scammed
tax
hard.
accountant in regular life. Very nice scam. And Purple Rupee is a little bit more worth it. At least you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, hey, you
stuck
get your
it.
money back plus some.
Yep.
Okay. It's blue dabu dee dabu da.
Well, the second part of Xavi's song looks a whole lot like Song of Soaring, I think that is. I don't know,
Yeah.
it's just kinda... Huh. Just $5 for their efforts, though. Thanks.
Banana. No, that's Storms. Bum, ba-da, bum, bum. I thought Soaring was down, left, up. I could be wrong. I said A, left, up. It's been a while since I played MM.
No, it's 3 rising notes. Had to think about that for a second.
Yeah. Alright, I don't know getting his Mido's house stuff. There's our other
still
SF
path to
from Swap.
Volvagia. Yeah. For Requiem or Strength currently. Could be the adult song. Could just be Requiem for whatever's here. I have no idea what's on the arch. Don't know if anyone in chat caught it. And Serenade certainly is a path in any case.
Right. Well.
Not in these settings.
Right. Tobias.
Also, yes, please don't spoil anything from the race stream as we are on the 20-minute delay. Keep this in mind. Requiem for idunno, and we'll see what's in here, because Requiem is potentially a path to Volvagia here in SFM, and it might be for Child Spirit. So the strength makes you think that it might be both of them for Adult Spirit, who knows? It's too early to say. It could just be the strength because it locks all of the strengths need to climb fire for the key, so... Options are still out there. We don't know yet.
Right. Okay. Child Spirit's a good play here.
Yep. I still don't know what that is on the arch. Small key. And that is a small chest.
It's a tiny chest.
Question in
So
chat,
you
what
can
is
open
race
it
rooms?
with shoes.
So we use a site called racetime.gg to synchronize timers and make sure that our runners start at the same time, and to keep track of when people finish races. Creating an account is free, anyone can do so at any time, and this is required to join races in the queue.
You just have to link a Twitch account because we require streaming for at least official races.
Yeah, that is the category default for the Ocarina of Time randomizer game in race time, yes.
Yeah.
Now, our only one key on Smart Child side, likely our runners are going to save before climbing so that he can safe scum the keys if needed, to come back later as adult. As we do need to come back here as adult eventually to finish Spirit Temple, it being the Forest Medallion.
Yeah.
So far, though, gotten a fair few items. Forest Temple's looking tempting. Besides that, slow-ish start, though.
Yeah,
Not been the most interesting first half hour.
I don't know about AGDQ, but if you go to the Discord, we have a list of race legal emulators you can use.
Yeah, AGDQ to know awesome games done quick, and yes, GDQ, it's all the associated channels. First bomb bag and Child Spirit climb. Okay, that's interesting. But HEDQ is a completely separate thing from what we do. You can play our authorized emulators are RetroArch, BizHawk, Project 64, and Dolphin. We do not, in fact, permit or support ModLoader 64. As a note, there are a lot of issues with ML64. It is a neat program, but it has its issues, and there are a variety of reasons they don't support it, but you can play in any one of Project 64, RetroArch, BizHawk, or Dolphin, or OpenEMU, I believe, is also permitted for Mac.
Right.
You play the randomizer, and if you need help, go join the Discord, and we can just help sort you out.
Yes, very much so. Alright, looks like Idunno is heading back in here. Gonna do the child climb as well. Makes sense.
Yep.
Because
I
the
do believe
key logic...
Xavi is on RetroArch, though we can't directly tell as his FPS counter is not showing on the game feed. And idunno is on the virtual console, which is also allowed as is Drive.
If you look on the commentator page above his item tracker has his FPS.
That's right, that's how he does Xavi's on BizHawk, yes, but chat can't see it, remember?
Right, brain.
That's what I was telling chat.
I forget that the cropping.
Yep, small key on sunblock, okay.
That is magic locked.
Yeah. No, good to know, I guess. It doesn't make much of a difference for the moment, but maybe something for later. So far, Requiem Strength giving us Bomb Bag, which is
good
in logic. Good to have not quite in logic yet, I think. Spirit Key Logic's a little wonky.
Well, maybe. I don't know about Spirit Key Logic. It drives me insane. Literally. But it was the first chest in Child Climb without having to get through the bomb lock. So it's only one key locked, I believe. And you have range to hit the switch and
maybe just on child side. Both ages. I think I was mixing things up.
Right. So it's in logic?
Let me just go double check the Spirit Key Logic document. I'm a bit tired today and slightly motion sick, which is not helping anything. So.
Oh god, that sounds horrible.
Ran some errands earlier, and things.
Yes.
Okay, a Child Climb chest is one key plus ranged weapons as both ages, or just a good old bomb bag, and that doesn't even ranged weapons as both ages. So yes, that is in logic as a bomb bag. I was mixing up logic with that of the map Spirit Sunblock chest. So oops.
Yep. So yeah, that is in logic. So that's our it could logically be our only or first bomb bag.
Yep. Hey, second, how's the seed going? It's going. Been a bit of a slow start. What is that on the letter spot?
Is that prescription?
I was like, that looks like a claim check maybe? Or prescription would make sense, yeah. Yeah, that's true that strength in SFM was bomb locked as well as a side note, and Shadow Temple's path to Baronade, okay. We'll need to get in there eventually, I guess. Good to know. Sure.
So either our letter or boomerang
Shadow
or
itself is required, so I guess, but yeah.
It being path isn't the worst.
No,
that's why I like
just
seeing.
Just tells us we'll need to find the items for it earlier, basically.
It's lunker time.
Yes, it is.
Did you like the emote I sent in the volunteer talk?
That was the funny one, yeah.
It's my submission. If we ever get a lunker emote, use that.
It's still path to Twinrova, yes, thank you.
Always good to know. Ba-boom. It's just a heart piece. Gonna set up Tobias. But I need the brain cell. I'm commentating. Gonna set up Scarecrow here.
If not gonna summon yet, we can't go full force to full Shadow. We don't have the Inspire to even get into Shadow Temple is a big problem.
Right.
But so far, it has been a very slow seed. Konnichiwa, Gatu. Please stick to English. I do not speak a lick of Japanese beyond whatever I can recognize from Chinese characters and kanji, and in general, we cannot moderate languages we don't speak. So please stick to the English. Thank you. I mean, yes, Force is Path to Bongo, and we do have Hover's Magic and Hook. So it's a good chance Dinza is in Shadow, but there's no guarantees, especially considering we don't have Nocturne yet. I'm a little bit concerned where that's gone off to right now.
Also, I'm not positive, but I believe that is an expression of disgust, like ew or uck or ugh. I'm not sure though. I know a little bit, but not a lot.
Only Japanese I know is whatever Chinese characters they've borrowed for whatever phrasing, because kanji does have a number of Chinese characters in it. Otherwise, I do not know that language in the slightest.
Okay, they wrote we. Okay.
Sure, I guess. Bullying, though, by the way, is complete and utter junk, and that's it for this child section for them both. We're going adult. Yeah. We're going Forest Temple, I think, for them both. Even Xavi without strength upgrades, that's the famous path. There's not much reason to do not anything but this, so... what a start, though. It's been a pretty boring first half hour.
Well, that's not too surprising. Oh, hey, look, we're gonna get a Din's Fairy check from, I don't know.
Yep, cast Fairy of 1 that Xavi cannot get due to no explosives and no ZL. Here's Bolero for him, so he will be picking up ZL for shortly.
He does have explosives now because he picked up the bomb bag.
He didn't have explosives, and that was the issue when he first passed through.
Oh, he just passed through again.
And
oh, a scale.
Silver Scale. Okay, that's...
I like scale for routing.
Nice routing, except for they just finished their child section, so it would have been nice about half an hour ago, but no.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know, could still choose to go use it. They do have Serenade.
No. No, I think this will probably be an adult trip. Not much. It's not really a good reason to go use Scale at the moment, especially with Forest complete Balloon Path.
Right.
And possibly Shadow soon after. I think we're just gonna go see that. Pretty sure that's where Xavi's gonna go after some cleanup here in the DMC Goron City area.
Gonna see Link the Goron. We believe it was either claim check or prescription, but we couldn't really tell.
Yeah, in any case, Big or Unstead, we do think it's a trade quest item. It's not Ruby's letter vanilla, so we're not worried.
A bunch of
Alright,
tiny...
small chest here, got the single green rupee, and Shadow is Path to Baronade, thanks. What's our... Can we get our Phantom Ganon hint, please? Or maybe a King Dodongo hint, though I suspect more likely Phantom Ganon. Would be nice.
Yeah, well that bomb bag is technically in logic, I believe, so...
Though whether or not there's another one available is a different story.
Right. I see what you mean.
So I'm just cracking up slightly, looking elsewhere.
Yeah, no, I see it. Alright, kaboom! Link the Goron! My name is M. Fear me. That's just funny to me.
It is pretty funny. Link the Goron can sound very, very silly depending on your character name.
Alright. We like to have fun here. Just ask Tobias.
No.
But up.
And that
This is the
is
crash.
very bad time for a virtual console crash for, I don't know.
It looks like he's holding up a ball of fire. Wah.
It is a slightly terrible free shot. Okay, and there's Xavi, who has instantly seen the ping. So, I don't know, plays on the virtual console. Unfortunately, which has a benefit in faster loads, but has slower, but has slower restarts and tends to spontaneously crash every now and again, like that.
Now.
So,
and immediately, oh crap.
yeah. So,
Quick, tab
as
over
I just put the
replay.
command in chat, the fair play agreement, because VC crashes are somewhat common, as we do have a large number of VC players, we have a setup to ensure that people don't lose the races to these. The fair play agreement is a system to help prevent crashes being decided by crashes, soft locks, power surges, outages, and other unfortunate circumstances out of the player's control. While this system provides some protection to the players when the circumstances are outside of the player control, it does not protect the players from crashes and softbox that are known avoidable. In other words, don't be a goof.
In other words, don't screw yourself and then call a free play agreement.
Yeah, fair play agreement. So we will. So this happened 20 minutes ago, but I don't know is currently there's a little bit of discussion in the race room as we determine what's going on, and I don't know. We'll have 15 minutes to catch up to where he was, which was blowing up the wall to Metagoron in Goron City as adults, and then
Right.
he'll resume again.
Right, and
I
as
am
part
not sure
of
where
the
his last save was. I believe it was probably in Child's Spirit, so he's got a little bit of time to
no,
catch
I
up.
believe it was his save quit.
Oh, it might have been. He is missing a bomb bag. You do have a point.
Yep. Or it could have been a save from the firelock check at the very bottom of Child Lonely, going back to the front. But another part of the free play agreement here is that you have a set amount of time to try and catch up. It's usually it's 15 minutes, but if it takes a bit longer, as long as the other runner agrees, it can.
It is up to the opponent to choose to wait longer. There is no requirement to.
Right.
We do understand if you, only have so much time to play a race or whatever, and do not end. It is your choice, but fair play agreement does guarantee 15 minutes. You cannot do any new checks.
Yes, you can only do checks you have done.
If you do any new checks, that FPA time will be will be considered when retiming your race later, because that kind of ruins the point if you do new checks while your opponent's waiting for you. That's not exactly the spirit of the fair play agreement.
Right. Yes, it was his save quit back to in front of Darunia here.
Okay, so we're gonna have to redo Child Grand City into Lost Woods, still redo SFM, get the strength, get Requiem, go back to Child Spirit for that bomb bag, I think, all that stuff. So this is gonna be a little bit.
Yeah, it should only take. He should finish within the 15 minutes, I think. It would be right at 15 minutes.
It will be close, but he can skip checks he knows is dead, so he doesn't have to go open the Lost Woods Bomb Grotto, Scrub Grotto for the double defense. He doesn't have to go get the Lost Woods Bomb Grotto for whatever junk was in there. He certainly doesn't need to be scammed out of his mind by the Lost Woods Scrub, that bird scrub that sold you $5 for 40. Any of that. Okay, he is redoing this check. It is easy to forget what you did do, but you do not have to do checks if they were useless. You can choose, which is part of how you can save time on catching back up.
So while we watch, catch back up, while sadly Xavi is not holding up a lunker at the moment for us to stare at. Any questions from chat?
Yep. I am currently putting up a text box to explain why. Apologies for the oversized font. I'm fixing it.
Yeah.
It's also on the wrong side of the screen. There we are. That's better.
Boom.
Yeah.
Wait, it's available as a meme in Node to put up the Lunker screenshot, apparently, according to Tobias.
Is it actually? Let me go look it up here in a second once I go do it.
Because that would be just perfect.
It would be kind of funny.
Oh, Tobias put it in there. So.
I got you.
Mel.
No BS is a little finicky with being a smidge finicky with me right this second.
Yeah. Also, I think Doc and Rafa have taken over the chat to talk about the race, it looks like.
Yeah, because Doc Keeps and Rafa too are the people in chat are in fact runners in the top 64 themselves who are racing each other next. That's the current conversation. I mean, we do have a bit of time here. All the research was just running to nothing check. Yes, indeed. Alright, let me go find it. Where is the... I need to go find it on this list. Aha! Lunker!
Let's see. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Ba-da-da-dum, da-dum. Bum, bum, ba-dum.
And there you go, Chad.
Oh, yeah. There it is. There's the Lunker. Get your Lunkers in chat.
Yeah, so they will. So we've got about a little while here. It's going to be another 10 odd minutes or so, to a little bit more than that to catch up, and then we'll be resuming in I think about 15, given some countdown time and all that.
Right.
So I guess do you want to recap how this seed's going while we take a chill out break?
This seed has been interesting. Fish Malay. See, we got basically nothing in our adult opener besides Bolero, ZL, and Shoes, which actually Xavi didn't get those until they went back adult. I am elaborating, Tobias. And then, of course, Mitos had some... Alright, we got a lot of stuff in our child section here, actually. We got, Mitos had our magic and, holy crap, brain. Hookshot. Castle Fairy has a scale. Sun's Grave had a slingshot. Richard had our bow. And of course, we just saw the Sacred Forest Meadow Grotto giving us a strength. Child Spirit gave us a bomb bag, of course. And then a double defense, or for you memers. And then, of course, we got interesting pass here. Sacred Forest Meadow to Babagia, where we got Requiem and Strength. So, probably that Strength, but I could see it being Requiem if it's something in Spirit, not Shadow. Holy crap, brain. Forest to Bongo, Fortress to Twinrova, and Shadow to Baronade are our pass right now. We're still missing a path, which is not...
which is either Phantom Cannon or King Dodongo, unless there's no path for either, and then we've got a repeat, which is not entirely unlikely. Right,
and of course we found the Big Stabby in the Cow Cage, and Anju gave us Hover Boots for some reason.
Because why not, I guess.
And that recounts all of our hints and all of our item checks. Yay. And of course, chat is going crazy for the Lunkers and asking for the GIF overlay over Savvy's screen.
It's only temporary. I have asked Travis to perhaps get us a more permanent overlay because it does come up every now and then, and this text box is very distinctly a bit clunky.
Right.
Actually...
Well, while we are waiting for, I don't know, to catch up here, does chat have anything about our layout and stuff, knowing that Song of Storms is on OT that they want to see in this seed now?
As we do have about another 10 or so minutes to chill out.
Right, and of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Does storms lead to Lunker Scooby.
I would hope not, in the sense of crashes. But yes, FPA is used. We use FPA most frequently for VC crashes, also this controller issues, power outs, emulator crashes, which are rare but do happen from time to time. Things like if your building's fire alarm goes off, please go sort that out. You have to call FPA. We will honor that as an unexpected emergency. That sort of thing. Internet crashes, we do not necessarily expect you to call FPA. We do ask that you local record in case your stream goes down and that we have lost footage on Twitch. This does not. So new softlocks that are not covered, but new softlocks are covered. But if it is one that is known, then we provide a list of known softlocks and crashes to people in the Fair Play Agreement, and we do expect that you read it. If you ask questions, please ask. Not ask.
Yes.
Not. If you read it, we do expect that you read the document as a part of joining tournaments. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you're not sure, there are many multilingual members of the community who can help you out if you're a little confused as to what a word means in English.
Right. We expect you to be literate.
Yes. And we do advise, it is best if you are not sure, call FPA and the race mods can figure out after. It is better that than to not call FPA for something that you could have gotten time back on. Unfortunately, that has happened. But things like, you do not use Din's Fire at the top of Spirit Temple on the white bubbles. That will crash the game because Ocarina of Time is extremely well coded. There's an actual explanation that I'm not remembering right now, but you can in fact crash the game by doing that. So don't do that. That is not FPA-able. I have monitored a match with that happened.
Oh lord.
Do not climb ladders during cutscenes, such as blowing up the wall, blowing up the ice in Donka's cavern from below with shoes. Don't climb ladder during that. You will also softlock the game that way. There's various of other ones. Do not open the chest at the same time as it landing on your head and crushing you. That will also create problems.
Right.
There's the bomb right now. Yes, there are certain known softlocks. Don't do this because we provide the list to you as part of the Fair Play Agreement. So don't do that. Known softlocks are not covered, but new ones are. And things like that.
Okay.
And in case anyone is wondering, Dolphin, which is an authorized emulator that is a Wii emulator, but you can play Wii VC through Dolphin. Yeah, you can in fact get VC crashes on Dolphin. It is a thing, I have seen it before.
Which is hilarious, actually.
It is kind of funny. And VC crashes on Dolphin are treated the same way as VC crashes on VC, the way idunno has gotten it here.
And if you want to get into racing, join the Discord. Or if you just want to volunteer. Speaking of, volunteer. No, wait, I'm typing in the wrong space. Ah!
That would help if you're typing in the right place. I'll get it for you.
Oh.
So if you want more information, join the Discord to get information about tournament races, Randomizer itself, and any of that. You will also need to join this Discord to volunteer, link to sign up for which I just posted in the chat as well. And if you want to... One of our race fans in chat there saying, if you want to get into VC crashing via Wii...
We like to have fun here. Just ask Cola.
Cola, in fact, is the person I speak of when I say I've seen a VC crash on Dolphin. Grand Finals was Skating Live 2020. Do not. That was 2021 Skating Live Grand Finals Game 2. That was something. I know, I think I might have forgotten to get my Serenade again, so here we go for that. And while that happens, I'm going to go use the restroom.
Yep. Do they still use the same video they used 3 years ago? For the comm application? Because I have no idea. I remember the video I used when I applied for comms. And yes, Noct, songs are hard. Mob drops are not considered a new check. Check is you opening chest or the freestanding stuff. Like the freestanding heart pieces, opening chest. I don't know, it's almost caught up here. I'd say about 5 more minutes. 4 or 5 more. Well, yeah, something like that. Yeah, 8 minutes, something like that. But no, when we say checks, we mean item checks where you open chest, pay scrubs for an item, do the mini games, not mob drops or grass drops.
Alright, I am back.
Right.
Where's my brain train of thought going?
It's off the rails.
I wanted to say, FPA is also consistent across tournaments, I should note, so we use the same fair play agreement for all major Ocarina of Time randomizer tournaments. This includes Season 6, Challenge Cup, the Random Sightings League, the Multi-World Tournament, Co-op Tournament, Traverse Blitz, all major tournament, Speed Gaming Live, all tournaments still use the fair play agreement with assorted, modifications as per the individual tournaments, since, for example, team formats have FPA a little bit differently than soloed formats. But the core FP principles remain the same, so you do not need to worry about the known softlocks list remains the same, so once you know one, you know it for all of them. Speaking in fact of the Challenge Cup, this is not the only there are quite a few other tournaments going on currently. We spoke of the Random Singles League earlier, we also currently have the Challenge Cup going on, so the top 64 tournament is for the top 64 runners and qualifiers. The next 64 runners, placed 65th through 128th in qualifiers, are playing in the Challenge Cup currently. Which has 2 phases. There, we are currently in about 3/4 of the way through the round robin stage of 16 groups with 4 runners each. Top 2 from each group move on, and then there will be a single elimination bracket for the 32 runners who move on from groups, with semifinals and finals being best of 3.
Remember to breathe, Star.
Yep. So if you want more information on the Challenge Cup, please go check out twitch.tv/thesilvergulls. That is where we host the CC. I'm, in fact, one of the organizers over there, and we host regular race streams of that tournament as well.
Yeah.
In fact, indeed, with baseball, there is a match on TSG in about 50 minutes. We may go right on over there, possibly, after this.
It depends on how long this goes.
Yeah, since Randobot's been on a bit of a mean streak. Who knows?
Yeah.
So we've got a good few items now as we come up on the 51-minute mark. Technically really 30 minutes given the FPA, but we're mostly resumed. I just need to get back to Goron City and then we should be resuming shortly. And in fact, if you want to check out the Season 6 brackets, you can go find that link in the chat. Thanks, Baseball. Yeah, about what is effectively 30 minutes into the match, taking out the 20 minutes or so of FPA. About a fair few items. Forest Temple's looking to be next for both our runners, most likely, after DC here, at least for Xavi, and possibly idunno. Well, I think idunno might do Forest first as its path. It could go either way, but we will be seeing progression more shortly from both runners, and we'll see where the seeds goes, because it's nowhere near done yet, FPA aside.
Right, just gotta stop the rolling Goron, and then get right back at that wall. He'll be caught up, I think.
I think he did the maze before as well, so I think that's where he's going.
Right.
That was 20 minutes ago at this point, so memory's a little wonky.
Yeah, he peaked it, that's right.
Okay, so peeked it, but not opened any chests yet. If
Yeah.
he had actually gotten to read the hintstone, that would have technically been doing a new thing, though at this point it's mostly a moot point. Alright, gonna blow blink to go around, talk to him, open the doors, go over to that wall, and we'll be set to go again. So I'm gonna take that text box off of Xavi's screen and...
Kaboom. Oh yeah, the money. And just throw it on the ground because we already have a full wallet.
Yep.
Take that money and throw it on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been very thorough on the FPA. You can, in fact, skip checks you know are dead, though admittedly you may just want to blow blink the ground anyway for access to the door. But it is impressive that he remembers everything he did and has been thorough in retracing his steps.
Oh yeah, he hasn't saved again yet though.
He might want to do that.
Yeah, I swear to God, if he crashes again.
That would have been funny if he had crashed right there. No, this is where he crashed originally. So we're back. We are 20 minutes ago. We were discussing that he is now back, and we will be counting them both off shortly to resume playing.
Yeah, I'm very impressed that he's so thorough. He even pulls out the bomb before pausing and saying he's back.
Yeah, alright, there we are. Very thorough indeed. I'm not sure if it's in the exact frame where he crashed, but pretty close to it. I think the bomb was a little closer to exploding when he crashed originally for a time. That matters as much. Icy Waters is dead, and we're back to going. Let's see what's in DC for Xavi. As we get a big chest, here is there's a Kokiri sword. Okay.
It's close enough, I'll allow it. Groose! I love the Groose lol.
So do I. But yeah, so you have as someone who has seen quite a few FPA calls based on doing the same, you don't have to go to the exact literal thing you were doing. You have to be in the same place, so you don't necessarily have to be holding the ball over your head again, but good to know if we're being thorough on that front. Saves potential headaches for review later if it comes up.
Trying to do Mido skip without pulling out an aim weapon.
It's not going very well, to say the least. Purple rupee for Xavi.
Shield turn. A slight angle turn. Sword slash and backflip. Come on.
Well, I'm surprised he's not using the bow, since usually using a first-person item tends to help with this. To get the right angle, because this is not working.
Right.
I'm very bad at Mido skip myself, so I'm not sure how exactly was wrong about it, but there we are, finally.
I usually do it with the aim weapon because I know where to aim.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised I didn't do that. But anyhow, heading to Forest for him makes sense. I think he'll do DC later. It's not like he's going to find anything in DC to make Forest faster, so...
Yeah.
Well, maybe for Wars, but it's not that substantial time saves.
We're
going to see...
we still don't have logical forest access because no Minuet or Sari is, but
no,
it's not going to stop our runners.
Yeah, they don't care. Decent chance it might be in the Composer Grave, honestly, as we get our first bottle here from Xavi.
Bottle! Gotta love having a bottle. That's supposed to be consistent?
Oh, look, coming straight, huh. Pretty done Minuet. Okay, where's Nocturne game? I'm a little concerned.
Where was that?
Pretty done Minuet's long shot is there. Okay.
Which means we're irons or gold scale from being able to do all dungeons.
Yes, we are. Storms is starting to concern me a bit because I'm looking at our song layout. We are missing Minuet, Nocturne, and Saria's song. So, in other words, Nocturne and Forest Access basically are what we're missing.
Yeah.
Those are remaining song locations are Ice Cavern, not accessible without Rudo's Letter right now, Prelude behind Spirit Temple, which is distinctly not beatable without Strength 2 or a Mirror Shield, and the Composer Grave, which nobody's checked.
Oh, they didn't have CL when they went through Graveyard the first time, and they haven't gone there as child yet.
Yeah, so I'm concerned about I'm concerned we'll need Storm soon just because we're a little low on things to do. We have most of the items for Shadow except for how to get in, which is not fun.
No, it's gonna be the 20 skull hint is a sometimes hint. We just happen to get it as our first hint.
Yep. And so I've included it for thoroughness because I might as well. Why not?
Yep.
It is a hit. It is a hit we got, even if it's not an always hit.
Also, there's a lot of stuff in the dongos. Fire
Jeez,
arrows.
speaking of things, fire arrows. That'll be nice
That's
later.
a fire source.
It is a fire source. Not one that does a whole lot of anything at all right now, but it is a fire
We
source.
have magic and a bow.
Yes,
and we can get in Composer, Wasteland's Dead. Could help in Water Temple. Could help in Fire Temple for the ice switch that's frozen.
There isn't a frozen ice switch in fire.
I mean forest. Brain.
I was going to say!
You know what I meant.
Iron there would have been funny, serious business, yeah. But nope, they might have KD though. But yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit worried about storms just because we don't have access to Shadow Temple. We know Shadow Temple locks Jabu. Fortress locks Twinrova, which is accessible, just no one's been there, but we still need 2 items for Spirit Minimum, Strength 2, and Mirror Shield, and we don't know where those have gone off to.
Well, we are in Forest now, which is a good thing.
Yes. That will help with our path to Bongos, we don't know what specifically. If it is, for example, if it is Nocturne on Prelude or Nocturne Ice Cavern, there's a good chance that's Mirror Shield Strength 2 or Ruta's Letter for that.
Mm-hmm.
Force Symbol so far just giving us some keys and not much else, unsurprisingly.
Right, and we don't have random trials on, so it can't be useful for Shadow Trial. Unless light arrows are in Ganon's castle for some reason.
Even then, though, we'll have Longshot and... Well, we have Longshot and hovers between them for Shadow Trial, too.
Yeah.
That's a moot point. Or keys for... I don't know... Xavi getting the Redoubt Grotto for a small chest.
It's a small chest. Oh yeah, Xavi still doesn't have shoes.
No. Doesn't a whole lot matter, because the only chew pack was on the volcano and he hasn't just didn't bother picking it up, I guess. Doesn't really need it, to be frank.
Yeah. CAC archery time. Did you know you can do CAC archery without a bow to get 50 rupees?
Guaranteed 50 rupees every time, but it will not get you the randomized item. This is a thing that catches people out quite frequently on their first ever randomizer seeds. That's just how the game is programmed. Note that this does not apply for the child shooting gallery, because in the original game you cannot get to the child shooting gallery, or indeed out of Kokiri Forest at all without getting a slingshot. So the game does not require a slingshot for the child shooting gallery, it does require a bow for the adult shooting gallery, which is giving us a hammer. Why is that there? And why is SFM path to full probably our logical first strength then, I think.
Yeah, that's probably our strength.
Could be good
when the hand turns green, it's a pain in the ass.
And that could be good for Xavi to get to his strength upgrade, because he doesn't know where it is yet. I think he goes for it at some point soon anyway, just for the sake of stuff to do, but, you know. Especially if Minuet is here and Composer Grave, which is a 1 in 3 chance right now. Approximately.
Yes, it's hammer time.
It was hammer time. Yet another key for I don't know. All the keys early in forests here, not too surprising. That's the hammer the owner used for building that gallery. Now he doesn't need it anymore. The Death King 2 in the chat.
Hammer.
That is an interesting emote.
Yeah, floor masters.
Speaking of Composer Grave, we're going to see that check right now. That's the only thing Fire Arrows really do for us right now, since we don't hard require it for anything else. As I say that, of course, it's a big chest, giving us...
Double magic!
Double magic! Thanks! Really? Thanks. That's magic locks, logically.
Yeah.
Flashbacks to the opening match of Speed Gaming Live 2021, where both runners hard logical last location to magic on chickens and never got the one from Composer Grave, as we get Minuet here. Okay.
Oh, we have logical access to forest.
Yeah, and that fortress path to Twinrova, this forest path to Bongo is starting to smell a lot like either spirit access or ice access for Nocturne at this rate. Could still be Din's, but it could well be for Nocturne because we don't have that. It has to be either Ice Cavern or Prelude by process of elimination, and I'm starting to get really worried about Storms just because it's one of the places that's available to us currently.
Yeah. Very much so. Kind of scary.
Yes, it is. Also, happy 1 hour, everyone. That we're so slightly late.
Well, we did have the free play call, so shout outs to our
Not free
runner.
play.
I don't know, and Xavi. Shout outs to our trackers. Baseball and Mare. And then shout out to my co-com, Star, who's also restreaming. Woohoo!
Yep. Thank you also to my co-com, Adam, and to our race monitor, Scooby, today.
Yeah.
Four so far has given us a load of keys and not much of anything else resembling interesting. Hopefully there will be more items in the back. We know there has to be something in here eventually.
Yeah.
So at the rate it's going, this will be Phantom Ganon because the game's not giving us it.
It'll be Basement or Phantom Ganon because that's just Forest Temple.
Yeah. Xavi is reversing Wasteland, so we will finally see this fortress path to Twin Rova, which will be good, especially given that it's looking likely that Spirit may lock our shadow access. It's a 50-50 at this point, so... Going to pick up the... gonna get this chest even though it's hinted dead. Okay.
I don't think he got that hint.
It was an SFM per my notes.
Oh, well maybe it did then. Maybe
and
just
it
forgot.
is marked on his personal tracker, just forgot about it. On autopilot, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a heart piece, so it's not completely useless.
It is the climb of shame. Oh yeah, the climb from the bottom, from the wasteland chest. If it's nothing, is always the climb of shame.
Alright, nothing here on Red Poof or idunno.
I believe that one is Joel, but I could be wrong. Joel might be the yellow one.
I don't remember, honestly.
There's a big chest on the bow chest. Also, hello ZR3.
Rating of the party of 99? Welcome into our Majora's Mask Randomizer Raiders as well. That's Path to Bongo, thanks, game.
Yep. Hey, thanks for the dibs.
Guaranteed path. Welcome in. We are an hour and 5 minutes into a Ocarina of Time randomizer race. About 45 minutes, given that we had an FPA called a bit ago that took about 20 minutes to sort out.
Yep.
45 minutes of effective gameplay. We've got a fair few items done. We've got a few dungeons done. We're also missing a bunch of stuff still, and our hints are a little bit messy.
Yeah.
Our raiders coming over from Majora's Mask should probably recognize one of our runners here very well. I know, of course, being an excellent Majora's Mask randomizer runner, as well as Ocarina of Time randomizer runner here. It's been an interesting scene so far. There's the boss key.
Is that why everybody's spamming Deku Soldier?
It's a running joke of sorts in the MMR community.
Ah.
I don't know the particulars, but it's a bit of a running meme of things. Let's see, where am I going right now? Forest Path to Bongo is Dins. And then we'll update the fortress to Twin Rova path here in a bit.
Okay, it is time for horseback archery. Woohoo. Ah, just missed that. Got it. Alright. Got the eye switch. Alright, get your bets in chat for the horseback archery score. I'm gonna go 1650.
I'm just gonna not bet myself.
Well, he missed his first arrow, so...
So far, kind of okay. 880 coming round back around. Not the best, but...
Oof.
I think it close as well.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Ended up with 1560.
A little tight, but does make it.
Bartender, you guessed correctly. Woohoo.
Giving us a bloopy and
Another
a
strength.
strength upgrade. That's good
That'll
for
be strength
Xavi. That's good
Yep.
for Xavi. They'll send him to his other. Though that just confuses SFM Path to Volvagia even more because that is not strength locked.
Right. But that is a second strength, so that could be Fortress to Twinrova.
No, that's absolutely Fortress to Twin Road, but the question is why is SFM Path to Volve? Because it's either for Strength 2 or Requiem.
Wow. We have all the items for fire now, don't we?
Yes, we do.
I don't know then. Tunic logic? Oh god.
I mean, it's not for hovers, it's not for a hammer, it's not for...
Bomb.
And almost... It's not for bombs, it's... we certainly
Not
have,
for
we
bow.
clearly have access to Fire Temple.
Yeah, so it has to be for tunic logic. Oh, that's ass.
Thanks, Gabe. Tunic probably in Spirit, Tunic or Wallet locking... It has to be either Requiem or that Strength 2 has to lock both, all three access to the Tunic. All three ways to access the Tunic. Either Tunic itself or either Wallet.
Yeah, no, that's just ouch. That's a wasted path.
Our fifth path is going to be wasted too, because it's most likely either Phantom Ganon or King Dodongo, and both of those are already resolved completely, so that's equally useful.
Yep, so 2 useless path hits.
Yippee!
Woohoo.
It is actually possible we don't have a Phantom Ganon or King Dodongo path. We have both.
True.
We do have 2 strength available. We have 2 hook shots available. We've only seen 1 bomb bag and 1 bow available, but there's nothing saying there can't be a second around someplace. Zachary, Song of Time is on Burning Cack. Not getting that anytime soon, given this medallion layout. Strength 2 does lock Song of Time, check raise, yes. Which can be logically relevant in fire in extremely rare edge cases, but only really if I think you need to have hover boots be missing for that, and we do have hovers, so... it's highly unlikely in any case, check raise. There is rare edge cases where highest Goron can come into play with Song of Time, but it's very rare in these settings.
Right, isn't hammering through the Song of Time block in logic anyway?
It is, but with a certain key placement, you may need Song of Time to get it from below.
Yeah.
I forget what specific key layout it is, but it's a bit of a silly one.
Wouldn't be surprised to see it, to be honest. Don't we have an extra key in fire anyway because we removed the bottom lock?
Yeah, that's the other reason why it's such a rare to come up in these settings. Because we don't have key sanity, we do have the trick on for the hammering through that Song of Time block and all that.
Yep.
Like, it's technically still a thing, just this stupidly rare edge case that is unlikely to come up. I don't want to give definites because Rando does really interesting things, and it's hard to be 100% certain until we've seen everything. So I will refrain from saying that it cannot be that, but it's just very, very unlikely. I guess though, speaking of what missing possible paths, that it could just be Minuet path, honestly, for Forest Temple. Depending where Sarius is, and if what net blocks.
Well, Sarius has to be either Prelude check or ice, right?
Yeah. The scale was on the Hyrule Castle Fairy, which...
Yep. He did. Yeah, he got it back in the... He lost it in the crash, got it back right before he went back adult.
Yeah.
More choose on Phantom Ganon.
Why not, I guess.
Ba-da-da. The most useless medallion.
Yep.
And we're gonna get our Deku Tree hints. And at least we don't have Double Forest anymore. Skullmask dead. I believe we already had that.
We did, yes. First copies of Temple of Time.
Ah.
What are we missing? We're missing 3 sometimes hints and a
And our
path
final
hint.
path. Yep. And this is Colossus' left hand is dead. Gee, thanks. Not helpful, particularly.
Right. Left hand's the adult side one, right?
Left hand is, yes. It's from the perspective of the Colossus.
Yeah, that always throws me off there. I had to think about it for a second. Alright, we're going to get Crater here, or the rest of Crater.
Oh.
Grotto time.
Now a small chest, and the hint that Fortress is still path to Twin Rova. That's our second copy, per the notes, okay. And Heart Container, why not?
Xavi has not been to Dodongo's yet, or
Not
gone and
Dodongo's
got where that
Forest.
was. Yeah,
No, it was SFM. He hasn't been there with
SFM,
explosives
yeah,
yet.
right.
He'll go there when he goes to get. He'll go there after this, I think.
yeah, brain.
Uh,
I don't know why I think they said I don't know. Frozen Cavern
Yes.
is Saria's.
Okay, that confirms Nocturne is on Prelude. Lovely.
Yep.
Just lovely. Yeah, Xavi played Minuet to get to here. I think he will get it on the way out, because his... Just to be sure on that SFM path, even if he knows it should really just be for a wall at this point, it's not a bad idea to pick it up.
Right.
Especially because, for all he knows, it could be the wallet itself, and he doesn't quite have enough health for fire yet. He does have a bottle, but it wouldn't. It's not. You might as well at least pick it up in case it's useful.
Right.
Hey, nice bomb locked bomb barricade. Thanks.
Also, Tana, do you want the short version or the long version? Because the long version is holy crap, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap, and the short version is
Graveyard
goddamn.
Path to Phantom Canyon for Minuet. Who'da thunk? Thanks.
Graveyard to Phantom. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, so
Hey, wait.
Rudo's Letter is probably Path to Baronade and Shadow then, because that's behind Din's in Forest. Which would be behind Minuet. Because we know Sarisang is a nice cavern, so Rudo's must be Minuet locked, which would probably be Din's for in Forest for Shadow Path to Baronade. Or Letter. Okay, thanks game. Doesn't confirm Rudo and Shadow, just makes it very likely that's the case.
Right. Though it could still just be Boomerang or something leading to those
It
two
could
items.
be Boomerang in there,
But
but
there's not much
Rudo's is
left.
most likely there, yeah.
Right. Yeah, we have Shadow to Baronade. I don't think the path command has been updated yet.
I'm updating that, yeah, I forgot the Shadow to Baronade path.
Okay.
Can't... trying to combination at the same time tends to have
Right.
minus a thing or two.
Also, Tana, we've already had a free play VC crash.
Also about 20 minutes to it, so we are technically only at about
1 hour now.
55 minutes of actual gameplay.
We got our
discounting
Prox
up
2
20
hint and
minutes
it
of
was nothing.
58.
Bomb 2 pack. We're just missing one sometimes hint.
Yep.
But we
and
have all
that
our other
is
hints.
all.
Yeah.
There's Dins for Xavi, speaking of our path hints. Which, I forgot the exclamation mark.
Yep.
There we go. So those are our current collection of path hints. Sacred Forest Meadows, Path to Volvagia for either Requiem and or Strength 2, possibly both. Most likely for a wallet at this point. For Civil the Balongo for Dins, Greta Fortress Path to Twin Nova for Strength 2. Both strengths were equally available, there was just one in each location. It is functionally the Strength 2 that would be Path to Night locations, since both were available. Shadow Temple Path to Baronade, probably for Rita's Letter between the Forest and Graveyard paths, and Phantom Canyon Path to Minuet.
Which, you know, obvious.
Very. That just tells us that Sorry, it's like nice cavern means that Rita's Letter has to be behind Forest Temple, which is probably the dins for Path to Baronade Shadow Temple.
Yep.
So our pathins are kind of a bust today, unfortunately. I guess Fortress Path to Twin Road was kind of useful. I'm not sure when exactly they would have gotten there with how much progression dungeons they have to do, but the rest of these pathins are not very good, I don't think. At least not for now. Look, of all the things the game chose to hit it for Volvagia, it had to be the wallet and not, the hammer and cack.
Which would make more sense, but, rando's gonna rando.
Yep. For those who are not clear on what path hints are, these are basically wave the hero hints for specific dungeons or for specific goals, because you can get path hints for trials or for the light arrows as well, depending on your particular hint settings. Yes, Idunno gets his long shot. But path hints for a particular dungeon means that it points to an item which is logically required to beat that dungeon. If you took it out of the game, you would not be able to acquire that medallion in these settings. So, for example, Forest Mist Path to Bongo for Dins, because you can't get into Shadow Temple without Dins, logically or practically in this rule set and settings. As Fire Arrow entry is not allowed or in logic, of course.
Well, all skulls besides 10 skulls. We still don't know what's on 10. But nobody's
Yeah, that's true, Cola. You would probably complain about a cack path usually, so that's fair, but it'd be a little bit more helpful than a wallet path that's not immediately useful for anything. What would be funny though? Maybe not puzzle these settings, Axel. Kind of curious. Or for example, you do need 2 strength upgrades to access Adult Spirit to beat Twin Rova in these settings. With shortcuts on that can be a bit different. Almost everything I say about logic has to be quantified within these settings because Ocarina of Time Randomizer's been around for about 5 years now. There are many different settings available, and depending on the settings, what you can and can't do with various items is going to change by quite a lot. So there is always that caveat with pretty much everything I say. Ganon's Castle Child to Path to Marfa, which leads to AD for Storms, and which leads to light arrows. Yeah, that's not possible because you don't need light arrows from Marfa, Axel.
Right.
Especially since in these settings.
We did have 4 medallion bridge in one season?
I think it was season 4, yeah.
Yeah. So Ganon's
but in these settings where you
path.
need 6 medallions, you can't have medallion morph. Well, you can't have stone morph if you path to stone morph because it's a stone, and that's not a win condition in these settings.
Right.
And since there are no trials and the bridge is not vanilla, you cannot get a path to light arrows hint or path to evil's bane hint specifically, I believe is the wording, because you can just go get the darn hint from Dwarf.
Yep. Which usually when you're in go mode and the only thing you need is light arrows, you play for the hint all the time.
Yep. So to note, for items that are functionally identical for the purpose of logic. So this is all bomb bags, bomb bags, bows, slingshots, magic meters, regular bottles. Bombs, bows, slingshots, magic meters, regular bottles. These are functionally identical no matter how many copies you have. They're all the same. Having 2 or 3 of them does not change what you can logically do in the game. Right. So one can only path or wave the hero if it locks all other copies. Mm-hmm. So in the case of our magic, so in the case of our 2, so here we don't have too much of an issue. Though technically, actually, I don't think our hammer was bomb locked because our bow was available on Richard for the adult shooting hammer, which you can get to DMT Fairy with. So yeah, actually, both of our bomb bags are available this seed. No wonder we didn't get a King Dodongo path, as we get theirs off 10 skulls.
Always suit her safely.
Yep. But yes, if all copies of an item are functionally identical, this also can include ocarinas and in if those are shuffled, this can include if you have plentiful on, just about anything can be that as well. Wallets are also. Oh no, wallets are functionally different. This can also include ocarinas. This includes copies of anything. If you have plentiful on, where you have multiple copies of most major, and one additional copy of most major items. List goes on. Now, if items are functionally different between different copies, so for example, strengths, hook shots, scales as well, actually, then you start to look at how many copies are available, because, for example, if one hookshot is... So, for example, if you, like, with our strengths here in SFM and Fortress, if only one strength available unlocks all copies, then that is the first strength that is then that first strength is pathed. Like previously, SFM had the wall of magic could have been at first strength, just because you need a strength to climb fire. But now that two strengths are available that don't lock each other, it is strength 2 that is pathed because you could get either one for strength 1, so that's not the requirement. It's logical strength 2. And actually, if we in fact find strength 3 on the, I don't know, Valley Crate or something, then it is logical strength 3 path because all 3 are available without locking each other. And then that gets extra fun because it's time to go to OGC. So that's the importance with Path and Way of the Hero Hints. So Way of the Hero Hints you don't see in these things, but you can see in other hint distributions. Way of the Hero Hints are... items are logically required to beat the game, but it won't tell you for you which specific win condition.
Right.
So they're otherwise very similar. Alright, so I'm just gonna get a Strength 2 here, that's good, and idunno is probably off to Fire Temple, it looks like.
Yep.
But that is where you get into fun. Is that you have to remember for Paths and Way of the Heroes that it has to be that specific copy has to be logically required. Which is why you can get into nuances with items that are functionally identical or not functionally identical. It goes differently for both.
I hope you enjoyed this star rant on logic.
I wouldn't call it a rant per se. I'm not exactly angry or anything, but yes, I do like to ramble a bit. Logic is my specialty as a commentator, as there's strength 2 for Xavi.
Let's see, 5 heart fire is kind of spooky. I usually like to have at least 6 for timer purposes. I always forget that hitting the hammer stuns even keys for some reason.
Yeah, they should be fine on 5 hearts in the bottle. 5 hearts alone would be a little tricky, perhaps, but 5 hearts
I forget about the bottle
for these guys. Yep, that bottle is so forgettable. We got it in DC, but it hasn't done us anything at all.
Well, usually you want a bottle for ice, and if you need to, buy blue fire, which is very rare, or holy crap, brain. Skulls.
Yep.
With bugs.
Alright, double fire here for my runners, nothing too surprising.
I don't know, strength 2 is on horseback archery.
Yep, he does know, he should have gotten the hint that Gerudo Fortress is path to Minerva, he'll hop on over there when he gets there.
I mean, he's pushing his progression dungeons that he can complete, which makes sense.
He'll go do that after this, probably. And possibly go GTG as well. Xavi had other things to do, and particularly force him after getting that strength because it was his first. So Xavi didn't stick around at the time, but GTG is looking like a good play right now for them both.
It's very check dense. They can do everything besides the well, we call it the toilet, but the Silver Rupee underwater room. Which you could even logic out to be a key.
It is also, in fact, there's 4 chests behind Strength 2, which is something to keep in mind between our assortment of paths. They're not the most useful of paths, but they could be behind that.
They're there.
Yeah, they are there. Sure, it could just be a wall in the Strength 2 block room for Goron Tunic and Spirit, and then last wall in Ganon's Castle or whatever it is for the path to Volvagia, but there could actually be something useful in there too. It could be something in the Strength 2 block room that leads to the wall outs in Goron Tunic. Who knows?
On this spot, we don't really have very many items that could lead to something else, besides maybe Lens. And then, of course, Boomerang and Letter. And Mirror Shield. Yeah, we only need 3 more items for all our medallion dungeons.
Mm.
And then, of course, irons for water. Or another scale.
Yeah.
So we have to do those.
Yeah, I mean, I am worried that it's going to be irons in GTG for our alt dungeons, because we are starting to run a little low on something to do. We can't finish Atlas Spirit. We can't so much as even get into Shadow Temple until we can finish Spirit Temple, as Nocturne is on Prelude. We can't get into Jabu without that letter, which is probably in Shadow at this rate, given our assortment of hints. And,
Triforce, I don't know, had a VC crash, which means that his Wii Virtual Console actually just froze and
spontaneously
closed.
crashed. Yes.
Yeah. So we have a free play agreement, which gives the runner 15 minutes
Fair
when
play
they call it.
agreement, not free play agreement.
God
Distinction.
damn it, brain!
It's also not FPS. It is not frames per second.
Holy crap, brain!
No, that was a typo in chat for FPS.
Oh, okay.
But yes, that is a. Let me go put the command in chat to describe what FPA is. It'll be easier.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know what is wrong with me calling it free play because of brain.
Brains can be funny things.
Rare pescatarian activity. Alright, that one was good. I like that. Hey, free spins are awesome. Alright. Oh yeah, and look, we got bow locked in fire. Gotta love those key layouts. We got hinted Pierre was a key. So, might need that. We can do pixel shot if we need the key. But also, oh wait, yeah, because the upper May score on was just a small chest and not a key. We peeked that.
Yeah.
So we do need the unless shortcut is a key, we need the Pierre key. I did not see the shortcut chest. And gotta love fairies. I don't know, setting up for pixel shot here, and pixel shot is where you can grab this platform up here without having Scarecrow song set up, or Pierre. But you can only do it with long shot, and it's literally like 3 to 4 pixels you aim at to actually grab it.
Yeah.
And it's... Oh, there, we got it.
Nice.
Very nice.
This is a pretty tricky one, but it is doable, and we have in fact seen at least 2 runners. I have seen myself all on bombs pull off pixel shot while on a keyboard. Extremely precise and not easy, but it is doable.
Shout outs to all our keyboard warriors. The most well-known one, I believe, being Alfalfa.
Alfalfa and Fabio's really gotten up there lately.
Yeah,
They put
Fabio
up an
has.
impressive performance yesterday. FMZ is very good. We don't see him in this season, or don't think we saw him last season. But he won a losers bracket race in season 4 against the then defending champion Benuru by pulling off a pixel shot.
So he's currently in the top 64.
Fabio is, I believe, Alfalfa is in the Challenge Cup this year, and FMC is not in either tournament currently. That for a second. A lot of runners around, and there's a lot to keep track of, so.
Unless I'm mistaken, I was pretty sure Fabio was in the top 64 this year.
Fabio's in top 64, it's FMZ and Alfalfa who are not.
Right. Oh yeah, back when pixel shot was something that nobody could do, and then 2 people could do, and then it became almost required to know if you want to get into the top.
Yeah. It's one of those ones that can really make a difference in the race. It's not known to everyone, it might not be the most practiced. Like, I would expect that most of the top 32 runners might know it, and probably most of the top 64, but it might not be the most practiced by all in the top 64. And then some, but not all in the Challenge Cup would know it. It's one of those more high-level tricks that... there's different levels of tricks. So things like B1 skip you learn pretty much immediately. Fire small skip in top of fire is one you learn quickly. The jump to Volvagia, that type of thing. So you want to learn those quickly because you will use them in almost every seed. Versus Pixel Shot is one of those more... B1 skip I already mentioned, yep. Versus Pixel Shot is one of those rarer cases where it's not going to come up as much. And I would suggest getting better at the other tricks first before you decide to master Pixel Shot. It's very good to know, don't get me wrong, but you may want to focus on other tricks first. Especially just due to the challenge of Pixel Shot. It does happen in that name for a reason. Yeah, Kola, the skill level has definitely been really jumped this season from season 5 even. The cutoff for points for qualifiers, like everyone was thinking it to be 3,400, 3,500 coming in. It was almost 3,600 was the final cutoff. And there's a lot of former top 64 runners and top 32 runners from previous seasons in the Challenge Cup this year. Of course, we've also got some new faces in the top 64, but there's definitely been some surprises. People who made it in the top 64 who are fairly new to the community. Xavi, for example, is not one I know very well. First time I've seen him in the main tournament. And there are other runners who have been in the top 64 in previous seasons and just didn't have a great time with qualifiers for whatever reason may be. And they found themselves in the Challenge Cup this year, shaking it up and perhaps terrifying the new runners a little bit to get some former top 64 runners down in the Challenge Cup and making for some interesting results. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, as I said, our top 64 is stacked this year.
Absolutely. In fact, though, I won't say who. We had actually one of the bottommost seeds in the Challenge Cup who just about made that. I think it was either 128th or 127th, I want to say, from qualifiers after drops. Go 3-0 in his group, in fact. That was an interesting result. Perhaps a bit underseeded there, I think, for sure, but that goes to show how competitive these qualifiers this year were, really.
Yeah.
Because Randomizer is, Randomizer. People, sometimes it's just not your day for whatever reason. And
rando.
And other days you might have a really good day, and that can really make a difference in seedings. Like, we talk about getting randomed on comms from time to time. Nice spot for the player boss key, by the way, all the way at the top. Thanks! Right. But we talk about getting randomed sometimes, because sometimes you do all the right plays, you did deliberately skip any checks, your routing made sense, you just got unlucky, and your opponent just made a different choice, neither of them wrong, and it just so happened that one worked out better than the other. Because that's just how Randomizer goes sometimes. You might make all the plays that make sense, and then just the Randomizer decides to play something in a silly place. It just didn't make with the way you played the game, sometimes it just didn't work out. And that's just what it is. Can't be helped at times. RNG is not always your friend.
This is why we
And there are times
sacrifice
where
to
you
the
think
RNG gods.
it is a channel point rewarding if anyone wants to do that in his channel. But that is sometimes just the nature of rando. Of course, there is a great deal of execution. You know, if you spend 5 minutes, if you die to Phantom Ganon 3 times every race, you're going to lose time just because of that, for instance. Execution is as much a part of winning races as logic and execution, but there's always a mix of everything, and that's going to be different from race to race and from seed to seed.
There also is a
Even
small
though some
element of
runners
luck.
sometimes... Yes.
Let's see, with the big Goron sword, I know with just the Master Sword, it's a 1-3-3 for Volvagia. Is it one less bomb with big Goron sword? I don't remember.
I don't remember either, actually. I am not. Neither of us, neither Adam nor I, are exactly anything particularly resembling competitive Ocarina of Time randomizer players. That's why we're in the comms booth and not, you know, playing in the races ourselves. So I am afraid I am not always the most familiar with all the technical aspects of exactly how does one perform all these specific strats.
Right.
Because I can't do them myself. I'm really bad at it.
I know a lot of the more common ones. I don't know nearly all of them, or all that is expected to know to be 8 competitive. Especially this year. But
oh my goodness.
I do know a lot of the more common ones.
Same, it's just not necessarily exactly what sequence of buttons you need to press and with what timing to go do this thing is the bit beyond me sometimes. Alright, fire's down. Now had absolutely nothing. We've been killing time discussing all variety of topics because this fire temple was a complete and total bust as far as items go.
Yeah.
Which I guess which I guess with the Path of Volvagia hints locking the wallets and tunics somehow, I guess those must be pretty deep in the seed given how that was a snooze. I mean, the runners both at least know that with the boss key on Hammer Chest that their opponent had to do the same thing. So you don't have to worry about, I just did all of Fire Temple for absolutely nothing, maybe my opponent did this later and skipped it.
Right. But also, we did have to go deep fire, so here's a this is fine meme.
Alright, let's
Songs
see what
are hard.
Fairy has. Songs are hard. Gonna put an emote for that. Technically a sad emote, but also really works well for this.
It's a nut.
Sad musical note there for songs are hard. 16th note specifically, which also looks red like an F intentionally for the design.
Yep.
Alright, at the lake here, might as well, I suppose. I don't know. Just do checks on the way to. I think this is going to be a fortress playthrough. I don't know, which should make a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a field, valley, fortress play here.
Yeah, and then probably GTG, I think. So you might want to. I don't know if you go Spirit first or if you stick around to do GTG looking for Mirror Shield. For I don't know.
I would stick and look for Mirror Shield, to be honest, just because I don't have
Mirror
it.
Shield
And you know you'll
could
need it.
be in Spirit, but it also could be in GTG. I don't know. It's one of those you could see it going either way things. Because there's nothing hinting this Mirror Shield, unfortunately.
Right. Of course, I always prefer the safer play, but that's just personally. Troll hole!
Ooh. So for those who are wondering, what is this strat? Why are they bombing the holes? That is because... Okay, good. Xavi does have the fairy. It won't be an issue with the timer. But for those who are wondering how this works, Volvagia, the way that the Volvagia fight is coded is that there are actually 2 hitboxes. There is the one that flies around, and there is the one that you play whack-a-mole with. Those are actually 2 separate hitboxes, and the flying hitbox will stay in the hole that it last flew into while you play whack-a-mole with it. So, you can damage that hitbox by placing a bomb in the hole. It's usually, you don't want it to be centered, you need to be slightly off-centered based on where Volvagia flew into the hole, but you can do extra damage to that, and usually you can one-cycle her unless she does what she did there for Xavi and pop back out of the hole she flew into at the start of the fight. Then it gets a bit dicey.
Also, we had Lunker and F for Fairy.
Yeah. Nothing on the adult fishing check, unfortunately. Can't do that by either unless Gold Scale's on the roof, or Iron Goods, which would be funny.
Yeah. That would be funny. I think he'll go back out to check shoot the sun, or do we have a shoot the sun hint? I don't remember.
No shoot the sun hint might not be a bad idea.
Yeah. With long shot, scarecrows, and a bow, you can get it.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Sons of Song, so it's not Sun's Song, not Son of Song. Holy crap, brain. So it's not that hard to do.
Yeah, Ors are hard, that's a hard piece, and Fire Step for Xavi.
No, let's just play opponent, go, field, cleanup, and GTG.
Yeah, we do at least know that GTG Song of Time lock checks are pretty much going to be useless for anything besides maybe light arrows, given that its Song of Time is on Burden Cack behind all of our remaining medallion dungeons.
Right, but if we do find all the keys, then the right side maze becomes not Song of Time locked.
Also true, though that requires some interesting key placements.
It just requires toilet to be item instead of a key.
Yeah, and there's
And no
nothing...
keys on the right side, or no keys in the maze, basically. Which is actually pretty difficult to pull off.
It is the thing. Alright, a couple hints here I don't think we've seen yet. Wasteland's still dead, thanks. Not that we really need the hints, we're only missing it sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Gonna go ahead and get this Southern Field scrub.
Yep. 99 rupees, so don't worry about money. Does he give us anything useful, or is he a scam? $10
scam.
$5. Negative 50% return. Or well, you receive the money before. Well, you receive the reward before the money is deducted, so it's negative 100% return technically. Extra helpful game.
Yep.
Much appreciated, Scrub.
It's basically a pyramid scheme set up by the scrubs.
Basically, I mean, this last one's Bird Scrub gave us negative 87.5% return, so
Right.
that was helpful.
Bum, bum,
Yeah.
Doom.
We're just in the mid game right now. 30 still dead. Yep, not really continuing
Yeah,
besides
this
maybe
is
that last
basically the
sometimes.
mid game.
Yeah, we're in the mid game effectively. Hour 25 into effective gameplay time, deducting the FPA, and we've completed all of our finishable medallion dungeons. We're just looking for stuff to do next, basically.
Yeah.
Which is going to be Adult Spirit for Xavi, which makes a lot of sense, honestly.
Mm-hmm. So we got we're 3 items from glow mode. 4 items from go.
Rang,
if we don't
letter, mirror,
light.
and lights, yeah.
Unless we need to go into our stone dungeons, then we're also missing another scale or irons.
Logically iron boots in this case specifically. Like
Logically
if we find gold
iron,
scale, I wouldn't necessarily go water out of logic in case irons are just sitting in Ganons or something. It's not maybe not worth it.
Boom, boom, boom. I love the setup.
Note that the randomizer whoopsies! I forgot he had bombs and not shoes on that C button. Let's try that again.
Boom, boom,
note that the randomizer, having been around for 5 odd years now, has inbuilt logic. You cannot get yourself locked out of the game unless you are in some rare experimental settings and are playing on Modloader 64, which is known to have an assortment of bugs. But the randomizer has coded logic built into the item placement algorithm. You cannot get yourself permanently locked out of a seat unless you decide to perform certain glitches in a glitchless logic seat. There are ways to get yourself locked out permanently. But the logic makes sure that at least glitchless logics make sure that you cannot get yourself permanently locked out without in a glitchless fashion, and the glitched logic also has the same 4 glitches. Because it might not necessarily be, the solution may not be obvious, but there is always a solution. That is guaranteed. And that includes the spirit key logic we were discussing a while ago. Logic assumes that you use your keys in the most inefficient way possible, and makes sure that you cannot get yourself locked out of a dungeon because of it.
Right. Like getting a key on adult side, immediately going child side and starting the climb for some reason. Or getting a key on child and abandoning the other checks and going adult and using a key.
Yep, for whatever reason that might be.
Right. It has to assume so that you can't soft lock yourself or hard lock yourself out of a dungeon that you will use the keys in the worst possible way.
Yep. Know that this does not take into item placements for that particular seed because keys are placed before items typically in non-key sanity, so the logic cannot know where the items are if they haven't been placed yet.
Yep.
This is important to note because that is different in some other randomizers, but key placement logic is independent of item placement logic because the items literally haven't been placed yet in the item placement algorithm for non-key sanity. In key sanity, the keys and items are placed at the same time, but not going to recode it just for that. So, big chest for Xavi, by the way. Is iron boots. Well,
Wow.
Honestly, I'm starting to wonder. What? So, assuming Mirror Shield's just
Can
not
we
in
just talk
here.
about that casual 1730?
Very nice. But I'm wondering if Xavi doesn't find the Mirror Shield in here, as I know gets his strength too. Do you reverse GTG, check if there's anything in there, and then if not, just go Water Temple for AD, I think, at this point?
At this point, you do GTG first before you play for all dungeons.
Well, I mean, GTG, and if you find nothing, head down Valley to Lake, or take this place Serenade, I guess.
Yeah.
Was the point, Adam, because we're running out of things to do a bit, honestly. Go Child, do Deku, and do AD at that point, I think, honestly. Or at least get the boss key in water before leaving. Because, that's not what he wanted to find.
Christian, at this
Big
point,
chest,
it's looking
speaking
like
of things, is another bottle. That's not helpful, game. And our final key. So we have all 5 keys and the boss key. All remaining checks will be items. And there's a lot left, given that left hand was hinted dead.
Means all of
Remember
our...
to count GTG keys, before I forget.
That's 2 in the bow-locked lobby.
Yep. AD is still a thing. In fact, it's become even more of a thing, given that Arc Boots just showed up. Nothing in the center chest. I have no idea on the rest of this maze because peeking chest is really hard in CSMC with GTG. Doesn't like that there's any big chest, at least. Storms isn't just logically required for well access, it's hard required for well access in this rule set 1/2. You are not in fact allowed to Navi Dive, Cuckoo Dive, or anything else into the well in the standard rule set. So, important note between logically required versus hard required. There are some things that logic assumes you need to be able to do various actions, and others that you are absolutely not capable of getting. Things that you have to do certain things. Like, you absolutely have to hammer to kill Volvagia. It is not possible to do so without a hammer in the code. Versus Mido Skip, for instance. You're logically required to have Minya or Saria-song in these settings to get past Mido over Force Nipple access.
Right.
No one really cares. That is the difference between logically required versus hard required, which is why I am specifying that the Storms is hard required for the well, not just logically required, because all the ways of skipping the Storms to get to the well are banned in this rule set.
Yep.
And these runners know that and will not in fact be disqualifying themselves by glitching it. Do not recommend. Let's just say that.
Oh,
big
there's the
chest.
I'm gonna go push the
Gonna
switch
hit
first.
the
Makes
switch.
sense. Push the block, get the block room as well. Boom.
I mean, he's not one item from Goma. If it was one item from Goma, we just open it immediately.
There's mirror.
Oh, mirror. Okay, so that gives us Spirit Finish, and it gives us Spirit's completable. And Spirit's completable Shadow is now accessible. So we are in Rang mode then.
2 keys back here so far.
Kind of like one of our race mods saying it would be a fancy way to forfeit a race just to disqualify yourself. I have actually seen a few people who, having found out that they lost a race, decided to just go out in spectacular fashion by doing some interesting glitches.
Right.
I mean, if you've lost already, why not? But don't do so while in the middle of a race because we do not recommend being disqualified. Just in general, let's just say that.
Alright, so that was 3 keys in the silver push block room.
Yep. Starfall. So, actually, with that time, where's this boomerang going off to? Because,
Right.
I'm pretty sure Forest Temple really hasn't, like, Minuet hasn't locked anything else. Rudo's Letter is almost certainly in Shadow Temple. There's not a whole lot that can block Rudo's Letter in Shadow. We're missing Boomerang, Leather, and Lights, and Letter is almost guaranteed in Shadow. Boomerang is who knows. Light arrows are who knows.
Sounds about right.
So, since Dorf will eventually give us a light arrow hint if needed, and we presume Letter's in Shadow, let's go for a Boomerang bet.
Alright, that freestanding is nothing. Axel every time.
I am going to bet Frogs won. Note that the checks that we have hinted dead so far: 20 Skulls, Pierre and Fire, The Wasteland, Icy Waters, Left Hand of Colossus. We know that 30 Skulls, 40 Skulls, 50 Skulls, and Big Goron are dead. Fox 2 some Chews, Burning Cack is Song of Time, so this cannot be the toilet. For the River Chest and Water Temple, this is not Skull Mask.
Also, the whole mace was dead. I don't know.
There is nothing stopping Boomerang from just being in Shadow Temple as well as the Letter, and there's actually no guarantee that Letter is in Shadow, but the odds are very good of it. There's not much else that Minuet locks, honestly, besides Shadow.
Right.
So especially with Fire Arrows being available, it can't even be on Twinrova. We still haven't found out where that Path of Volvagia is behind our anything yet either. As a side note. Presumably deeper in Spirit, but Adult Spirit's been pretty much a snooze, so...
Alright, I don't know. It's just a spirit, yeah.
They're pretty close here, honestly, because Xavi's already done most of Adult Spirit, and Idunno's just going there now. So Xavi look at Mirror Shield in a couple of minutes, presumably clear the back loop, and then just head all back over there too, so they're going to be really close finishing Spirit Temple right now.
Yep.
Well, in like 5 to 10 minutes, not right now, but they're really close together, right? They'll be really, really close finishing Adult Spirit. And then it's a race to...
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. So, yeah, gonna be really close finishing Adult Spirit. I assume both will go Shadow Temple. Go save quit, or play Prelude, as it were. Go get the Nocturne from Temple of Time, and then go Shadow Temple, clear through that, and then see where to go next after, depending on what they find in there, basically. Rudo's Letter is nearly guaranteed in Shadow Temple. We know that Shadow Temple is Path to Baronade, and that the Graveyard is Path to Phantom Canyon with Saria's Song and Ice Cavern. So Rudo's Letter must be the Graveyard Path to Phantom Canyon for Minuet with Saria's and Ice Cavern. So that means that Minuet must lock Saria somehow, and the only thing in Forest Temple was Dins, which was Path to Bongo. So presumably Rudo's Letter is either in or behind Shadow Temple, and it's most likely just in Shadow, given that we've seen most of the items that could logically lock Shadow Temple, that could logically lock a check somewhere else, honestly.
Right.
I guess it could be Strength 3. Boomerang by itself does basically nothing. I guess it could be the Lens. It wouldn't really be a wallet, just a single wallet, given that Fire was a bust too. Like, it's most likely the Letter. There's not really much of anything else it could be that's not that.
Right.
We've seen almost everything else that could lock the Letter in any particular fashion.
Right.
I mean, I guess it could be the Zora Tunic for stupidity, but there's really not much.
Right.
Mirror Shield acquired for Xavi. I don't know, getting the small key and boss key here.
I always forget about that invisible floor master.
I mean, I guess it could be Gold Skill. Like, there's a few silly possibilities, but there's very, very few of them. We have seen at least one copy of most of the major items in the game.
Right.
And, yeah, there's Adult Spirit for zombies. So they're gonna be stupid close here. Iron Boots incoming for idunno, in case you're wondering where those were. It's on the statue hand. Yeah, so we assume that Letter is almost guaranteed in Shadow. Boomerang is... Well, there's a decent chance it's just in Shadow as well, just because there's so many items in Shadow, but there's no guarantee of it. Could be on Twinrova, could be like Top of Spirit for Armos, it could be just sitting in the Deku Tree this entire time. We did get the Kokiri Sword a long time ago, don't forget. Who knows? Well, I'll close the bed at the 2-hour mark, I think, so we've guys have got another couple minutes to do that.
Alright. I'm just gonna fire arrow these. Makes sense.
May as well save some time, why not? Got double magic, plenty of arrows, don't need to worry about it. Yeah, as predicted, our render is pretty much neck and neck here, as I think Xavi just remembered he forgot the 4-Armos chest and is backtracking for it. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Forgot the 4-Armos chest.
Makes sense.
So this is going to be Invisibles for idunno. Xavi's going to see the small chest and head back to Twinrova. So Xavi actually slightly ahead here in Adult Spirit, despite coming back a little bit later, just because he already cleared it out the first part.
Yeah.
And really, they've been pretty close. A little bit of rounding divergences here and there, but they have converged at various points, and they did checks in different orders, but it never didn't really hurt either of them, especially I think it helped Xavi a lot that there was that strength on HBA, so he didn't get hurt by the one in SFM.
Right.
And they had, I think he might have gone there anyway at some point just to clear the forest courtyards, but they're pretty much neck and neck here, heading through Adult Spirit, and not much remaining. And their paths forwards right now is pretty straightforward. Beat Spirit, get Doctor, and go Shadow Temple, and figure it out from there, basically, right now. Assuming Runo's Letter is in Shadow, if they don't find Boomerang, that means that Ice Cavern will be available, they'll have Deku, they can go do Water Temple.
Aye. I don't know, putting these shoes to good use.
You know, there's still some odds and ends overworld checks, like Lap Dive, Shoot the Sun. I don't think we ever saw Big Toes.
Yeah.
You know, various loose ends, basically. And with that, bet is closed. OT is in fact Storms, which is one of the reasons why we're kind of concerned about it.
Yeah. Could turn out really bad.
Yes, it could.
But we'll find out soon-ish, hopefully.
Sometime.
It'll happen.
We do also need Light Zone, but Dorf will give us the hint push comes to shove if it comes to that. I'm not overly worried about those right now.
Right. If you don't have lights by the time you do complete all your medallion dungeons, you just play for the hint.
Mm-hmm. And yes, 20 through 50 skulls were all they did. 10 skulls was Neighbor's Love, but they were not helpful today at all.
Yeah. And now it's time for Double Troll. It's kind of funny because they also look like troll dolls. Yeah, this is a race. It's very close.
Yes, it is.
This might just come down to execution at this point.
It might, assuming everything else is more or less on the way, because this is so far looking pretty linear, given things.
Yeah, also,
You've
it
done most of
depends
the
on how
same
trolly
overall
Rova
check.
is.
That too. But they've done most of the same checks, they've done the same dungeons, a little bit different order, but it does ultimately ended up being almost a net zero as of right now. Tornarova really not cooperating for Xavi here.
Or I don't know
Yikes.
either. I don't know,
Yeah.
missed 2 in a row. Oh, wow.
Well, Xavi just missed 2 in a row. Yikes.
Also, happy 2
These
hours,
witches
everybody.
are trolling. Happy 2 hours.
Shoutouts to our runners, idunno and Xavi. Shoutouts to our 2 trackers, Mur and Baseball. And of course, shout out to my co-com and also our restreamer, Star.
And thanks to Scooby too, who's our race monitor. And I agree with you, Elka. Honestly, the gap just closed there quite a bit. Trollrova RNG making them just a couple seconds apart now. I'm pretty sure it's less than 12 at any rate, heading into phase 2. But thanks to Adam as well, and yeah, I agree with Elka in chat. It's Rush Shadow, and if you don't get Boomerang in there as well as Letter, probably Rush AD. Like, I don't know that you necessarily full clear water, but at least get the boss keep beat Morpha and Go Child for Deku and AD, because you're starting to run low on things to do.
Right. Yeah, this is a super close one.
Neck
Oh yeah,
and-
you almost definitely do Deku before water.
I mean, the thing is, do you do water as adult just to clear, just to get it out of the way for the stone? Because the trade transition takes a while? I don't know, because I mean, I think it does make sense to just go Child for it, but also at the same time, if it is AD, you can save time on an age transition. Though Prelude does save time. I don't know, it's tricky. I don't know, doing a bit of a double take to make sure what is that on Twinrova anyway.
Water just sucks. I like the temple. Don't get me wrong, but in Rando it's just kind of eh. Especially if it's stone.
Nocturne
No,
is on
Nocturne-
Prelude.
Yeah, which we're about to go get.
Yep. Oh, I didn't know it hasn't done Colossus Fairy yet. So okay, technically a hair bit more behind than you think. Forgot Lax was a thing, just a bloopy.
Right, Tadon goes in fire.
Okay, so technically a little bit further apart than we thought. Assorted overall differences, including Colossus Fairy here for Idunno.
No, we got the hint that Wasteland's dead. Soy sauce.
So that should not be. I think he should check that. He does have the hint. That was an SFM, so. As long as he remembers, he won't be checking that.
Right.
This we know was just a heart container, and songs are hard, but that will be Prelude for Nocturne and 2 Shadow.
Songs are hard, and you can also see how people mess up songs from that fairy fountains because they get the bars.
205:38 transition to black entering that Shadow Temple load for Xavi. We'll see what the difference is entering here for them both. I know apparently got lax on some previous trip through Temple of Time, so he's gonna just skip that and head right over.
No, he got it just now.
Oh, did he? I might just get him rating. Never mind.
Yep. Target in the woods is dead. Hey, there's our last.
Gee, thanks. We got that a long time ago. Slingshot was in Sunsong Grave. They got that like 5 minutes in. Okay, 206.26 here, use of Dins. They're going to be almost exactly a minute apart entering Shadow here, basically. And 206.36. Yep, just under a minute apart entering Shadow Temple. It's like 58 seconds, so very close still. Execution could make absolutely the difference. Minor routing choices could make the difference. This is a close race we've got here between our two.
Yeah.
This might be a noob's AD at the rate we're going, because we don't know.
Right.
It really depends. Rudo's letter is probably in here, given all of our hints. We don't know where the boomerang is. If the boomerang's in here, great, we go beat Jabu, we go get the dwarf hint. If the boomerang is not in here, that's when it gets interesting.
Also, Shadow is so damn linear.
It really is. Not wrong. At this point, if Shadow doesn't have Boomerang, you just wish it. You just hope it's all dungeons because you don't have to worry about did my opponent go the other stone dungeon, for instance,
Right.
and make that the difference. Because if Boomerang is not in here, they do have somewhat of a choice between do you go Deku immediately, do you do water then Deku, how hard do you play for this all dungeons? Because it could have just been sitting in Deku Tree this entire time. We've had the Kokiri Sword for a really long time. That was in DC.
Yeah.
So for all you know, your opponent did that an hour and a half ago.
Which would be scary.
Not sure. Yeah. Because
it is
you know that
7
we
free
haven't
checks,
mentioned
basically.
it yet, but since Randomizer relies largely on, a big part of Randomizer is finding the items as you go without knowing the item locations beforehand, it is in fact strictly prohibited to watch your opponent's stream or the restream during the race. That is a very, very good way to get banned immediately as we get our last bomb back. Thanks, game. That is bomb locked for what little that's worth. But to know that watching your opponent's stream or the restream, also known as stream sniping, is extremely banned. We do not encourage doing so. It is how to get yourself banned from the community for an indefinite amount, for a period of time. And we hate banning people. Don't make us do it. I have actually had to ban a few people as a tournament organized before. It really sucks. Not much else I can say about that one.
True Spinner RNG. Wow. Okay. How many checks are in Shadow? I forget.
I think it's also like 12 or 13 items.
Oh. A lot. Bang, ba-doom, boom, brain. So that's 2 checks so far. Yeah, I know, but it's good to remember. 3. I'm trying to count for the
joking about
background.
the Truth Spinner RNG, so it's a 4 in 9 chance, 3 in 9 chance, and it's 4, 2, 3, I think. Forget
Yeah.
which order it's in.
It's 4, 3,
of the
2.
back 3 specifically.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's only a couple seconds lost from not getting it first try, but a couple seconds can be the difference.
Aye.
I mean, the thing too is we've had some very close races, and it's kind of a mark
Oh,
of
yeah.
how competitive Season 6 has been, is that we've had some really, really close races in both Challenge Cup and Top 64. We, in fact, actually had a true tie in the Challenge Cup a couple weeks ago. Between
An
Keepsake
actual
and
tie?
48. Yep. Well, hey, our last bottle that's not Rudo's letter, thanks. Yes, an actual tie. I didn't run an exact frame count because I don't have the software to do it with. But we did in fact have an actual tie between Weedix 48 and Keepsake in the Challenge Cup. They finished within 0.5 to 1 second of each other after a retime.
Holy crap.
It was really darn close. We did not give them. We just issued them a tie within 0.5 to 1 second. I think what I estimated was about 0.6, but it's really hard to be sure with the specific frame count. And with groups, it didn't much matter at the time to issue that. Like, if it were a 1v1 for brackets, then it would have been a retime or rematch. But as it were, we issued them a tie. Because that is one of the closest races on record, within about a second of each other. They finished at the same time on race time, which didn't help anything. We also had a race within 1 second during season 5. I'm forgetting who with. And I know that Marco and Bono, and I think it was season 3 finals, had a 7-second difference there too.
Yeah.
I forget who, but somebody was definitely regretting falling off the Rainbow Bridge that race.
Oof, I don't know, falling. Hey, Feror's on
Speaking
the
of
pot.
something,
Wow.
that would have been nice to get out of that room a little faster, because you can save a little time by sitting for Rose in this room, then going to the pot room, and
That
getting
is
the
the most
freestanding
rude
item.
place for that I've ever seen.
That is pretty bad.
That is the rudest Feror's I have seen ever.
It's pretty bad. Because yeah, you can't actually save some time if you set for Rose in the room with the Gyptos, but the Reed Deads, but kill the Reed Deads, go into the pot room, get the pot, and then just use Rose to get back out without killing the keys. But of course, no, if you can't do that, Rose strat if Rose is in the pot.
So for those who don't
Speaking
know,
of,
Feror's also saves the flags you put in the dungeons. So like the twisted hallways in Forest Temple, it saves time there as well.
now I should note there was a new soft lock discovered a couple of weeks ago now, involving Shadow Temple's other pot room, the one in the way back with the 3 giant pots spinning around in a sculptula. You see the spinning platform here? You know, that's kind of vaguely hexagonal with a pot on it? Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you are collecting the skull in the triple pot room in the back of Shadow, and I guess it applies to the one here too, so that's less of an issue since you blew this one up, but anyway, you do not want to sit on the spinning hexagonal platform while collecting the skull, because while on main branch, you are frozen in place during the Sculpture collection text box. The pots aren't.
Oh no.
Mr. Mario got clipped into one of the pots during his round 1 race versus the aeronaut. That might have, and had to reset out.
Oh damn. Also, Xavi having a hard time getting onto the boat there.
Mm-hmm. It is a moot point actually for the single pot because the single pot's not moving, but the triple pots in the back do move around in a circle, and so you don't want to be standing on that spinning hexagonal platform because, Mr. Mario got clipped into the pot and couldn't get back out. So bombs are actually the easiest way because normally, like the triple pots have the same coding basically as the single pot. You chuck a bomb in from the top where bomb choose normally to blow it up. But as it turns out, if you are clipped into the pot itself, you can just drop a bomb at your feet and it will blow the pot up, no issues. Here's the clip in question. Bomb choose, however, you cannot let them run away from you because they'll run away from the hitbox because the hitbox is basically at your feet.
Also, you can't play warp songs in dungeons.
So yeah, you just actually end up getting stuck in the pot, unfortunately. We're still waiting on the PS. We haven't seen that letter yet. We have seen another bottle and for Ors, but we haven't seen our letter yet.
It's getting kind of scary back here.
It's either in here or behind this, or behind whatever's an item in here. You can't. You can't play with warp sites in temples, but you still have to run back to Shadow Temples. A problem if you get clipped into the pots in that triple pot room is that you just get kind of stuck. So Mr. Mario had to save quit out and then come back through, which took him like 3 to 4 minutes, and I think may have actually cost him the race, unfortunately. But
wow,
things happen. I'll say that. I don't think you could have used Dins to get out. Mario tried to use Bomb Shoes, but didn't have any luck because you have to be basically holding the bomb shoe for it to explode in your face. You cannot let it run away from you because of the way the hitboxes are. One of the attorney works in the OoTR Discord when they did some experimentation after the race to find out what exactly works, and they had no bomb bag at the time. Mr. Mario only had like 4 chews or something, which didn't help either, and had no bombs at the time to blow it up with the bomb bag. So Mr. Mario got a bit stuck.
Oh wow. I didn't know that room was required in
It wasn't. It's normally not. That skull doesn't even come up very often, but that was a 40 skulls light seed. Is how they ended up there. So.
Yeah. I've seen it a couple of times this tournament. Not often at all.
No, it's a fairly rare seed. It's a fairly rare thing, and the reason why this softlock really hasn't come up before to anybody's knowledge is because you don't see that skull too often. And outside of random settings, like an RSL does have skull sanity on sometimes, but it also uses Roman's branch, where you can move during the skull's text box, so it's a moot point.
Our item is on Bongo.
Whatever's path to Baronade has to be on Bongo. It can't be for Roars, and it can't be that bottle, and it can't be that Palmback, so it has to be whatever's on Bongo. We've seen everything else in here. It has to be this.
Boom, boom, boom. So the timing for Bongo Bongo is 150 beats per minute. What song do you prefer?
I'm really bad at Bongo. I don't actually use it currently.
Fair enough.
You?
Oh, Brain. She Loves You by the Beatles.
Nice. Oh, and actually, Chad has a point. Boomerang could just be vanilla, as there's the letter, as expected.
Yeah.
Yawn. Alright. Yeah, Boomerang very well could be vanilla. There's nothing stopping it from being in the Boomerang chest. I don't think anyone actually bet the Boomerang chest, but it could be there.
Crazy in Love's a good one. I think the one that's most talked about when we talk about that strat is Skater Boy.
I mean, if this isn't a true dungeon seed, we might see the 3-hour mark or at least get close to it. We've still got a ways to go here. Speaking of earlier of various assorted overall checks that one did but not the other, 10 skulls is one for Xavi. Note also that Xavi does not have the scale from the Hyrule Castle very yet. So he might get that when he goes child here. Playing Prelude, gonna do Deku and probably do Deku, I think turn in the letter.
Turn in the letter, do Deku, yeah. Oh, no, what?
Gonna play Serenade. Okay, this is Adult Lake and possibly Water Temple.
I don't know, it's already done Adult Lake, so that'll be a bit of a time save. Is he gonna play for all dungeons right now?
I think this is a play towards all dungeons for Xavi, yeah.
This is
I mean, you're taking that risk. There are 16 items behind Song of Storms. And Xavi's decided, I will save myself the time. I'm going to assume it's all dungeons and save myself that age change, is what he's decided here.
Fair. And I don't know, playing Bolero.
Where's he going?
I don't know.
I'm actually a little confused where Edmund's going, I'll be honest.
No, our Iron Boots were in, oh, he's been set for wars back here. Just in case.
Xavi is, yeah.
We already
Crater
got
Fairy, right. I don't think he did. Oh, no, he did that earlier. Where is he going?
Yeah.
Iron Boots are not paths.
They were in GTG. And GTG's not one of our paths. No, they weren't.
No, they're in Spirit, but...
Spirit, yeah. And Spirit is path to, nothing.
Oh, they did get a blue fire bottle a while ago. I wonder if that's right and is going with that scale.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Xavi did Zora's River earlier. I don't know if I didn't ever got here. I do know that King Zora Skip is banned in Season 6 and the Challenge Cup, so not for the standard rules as a whole, but just for these two tournaments, so I would really hope he doesn't choose the KZ Skip.
Oh! I don't know, never did River.
That's what I was thinking, is he never did River. Oh. Okay, so this is a good time save for Xavi, especially if the water boss key is early. This could make them pretty even going child, but with Xavi up a stone, potentially. Now, here's, and this is where that early game routing comes into play as well. They were only a minute apart going to Shadow. They did have slightly different routes getting there. And This is one of those things where we can save time as oh. Nice slingshot game. Bait, big chest. Thanks.
Also, it looks like Xavi's a map first kind of guy.
Yep. Actually, that might have been Idunno's first Song of Storms hit, though I think he knew it was that anyway, so it's a bit of a moot point.
Right, he just wanted to do river. Okay. Not as scared anymore.
Okay, now he's going to go child, and...
Chat was full of Monka ass.
Alright, here's a key for Xavi. I do want to count water keys, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Water key logic is simple. Darklink Loop is 5 key, Darklink and River Chest are 5 key locked. Water Boss Key Chest is 5 key locked, and there are 6 keys total. So between River Chest, Dragon, Darklink, and Water Boss Key Chest, there can be a maximum of 1 key, and then items or boss key on the remaining. And speaking of the boss key, that's it. So I assume Xavi is going to go beat Morpha and get out of here.
Hopefully.
I mean, you're not sticking around. There's only 4 items in here. You've gotten one of them already. It's not worth staying for the rest. It's very slow. Deku into swarms is much, much faster, I think, here. Like, you have Serenade to get back here quickly. I don't think it's worth staying around for the 3 remaining items that take quite a bit. He could, if he chooses he wants to take the risk, but I think he rushed density and go do not this.
It's our first time seeing domain, isn't it?
It is. We never did check these things. Other assorted overall checks we never saw that could have it. There's nothing stopping us from being it as, hey, Shiny, rating for the party of 2. Thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well. We are 2 hours and 24 minutes into a Season 6 match here between Idunno and Xavi. That's a key on Morpha. Might as well pick it up. Why not? We are in a boomerang hunt. Is the short version. Song of Stormstone Dungeons, which is why Xavi just beat Morpha here. And Lighters are technically all missing that they're just both playing to the Dwarfin right now. Main plays currently are Deku into all dungeons, basically, for Xavi, and not too dissimilar for Idunno.
Right. And Shoot the Sun is a rupee, a shield?
Is that a rupee? No, that's a rupee, okay. We did not get a toilet hit. I don't think we saw enough GTG keys to be sure what that would, if it's an item or a key.
Right.
The maze is really, really hard to peek.
Well, the maze had absolutely nothing in it. It might have had keys. It might not have. I have no idea.
That's the issue, is I don't know how many keys were in the maze because it's hard to peek, yeah. This rupee layout is kind of terrible for Idunno here.
Is this a 5-dive rupee? Oh god.
I think it is. Ouch. Yes, light arrows could be in the toilets. Boomerang cannot be, as Song of Time is on Burning Cack, which is behind Jabu, but it could be light arrows.
Yeah, here's Xavi doing lake stuff. This makes sense.
Let's say he could have done that diving game with 4 dives or maybe even 3. Yeah, I think I would have been pushing it a bit. That was not a kind layout. Just the rupees being really spread out there. Xavi not giving some time back to Idunno by doing Adult Lake, which we know to be nothing. But on the other hand, Xavi is also getting a bit of efficiency by routing it in with Water Temple, so it's kind of pros and cons with each play here. Idunno is going to go open Jabu up and I think set for Wars in here. Go do Rag Chest and
honestly,
see if it's not.
I think he does the Fairy Fountain first just to check.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's in there.
Yeah,
or not.
Check the Fairy Fountain, see if it's not. Yeah.
Apparently not. It's just a ring chest play.
Okay then, just gonna go right on in. Just playing to a vanilla boomerang, and if not, it's not too bad because he did get furores and cannons in shadows, so he can just set it here.
Yeah. And in the randomizer, your furores is separated between adult and child, so you can have one for each.
Yep.
And actually put it in GTG if you want to, which you can't do in vanilla either.
Nope.
And we have the fishwife.
Yep. Then we get a nice convenient heart refill and a 6 heart container actually off that lab roof check. And lab dive is a new check because I didn't know it didn't have irons earlier. We're going at a lake.
Right.
Shadow to Baronade was the Rudo's letter on Bongo. I forgot to update that. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah.
I say how unsettling. I know I bring this up a lot, but the sounds inside Jabu Jabu are just unsettling.
They are. Alright, now there's Prelude for Xavi. It was just Tamira's on Lab Dive, and we'll see what he rushes first.
No idea.
We assume
Never
claim check or
actually.
prescription or something. It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
It was 100% not the boomerang, because we would have gotten it by now. I know for a fact I did see that item, and he does have a scale.
Right. Also setting furores here makes sense.
Note that Xavi never got the scale, and is in fact not going to do Hyrule Castle Ferry here, so we'll have to spend a little bit longer getting to Jabu when he goes there. Assuming Gold Scale's not just sitting in Deku Tree or something, which it could be.
Right.
And, you know, it's a small thing, but it could make the difference later. You have to go back upriver and, you know, play Nocturne and go upriver that way instead of just diving from lake.
Or actually, this is a minuet into top of river from Lost Woods. Well, it's not vanilla.
Nope, they're going to be very, very close going to the Deku Tree here.
Oh, that's right. This was obviously he's gonna do Deku Tree first. He's playing for all dungeons hard.
Yeah. You do
Oh
need
yeah,
scale
she also needs scale.
yes.
Right, brain.
That's what I was confused by. But yeah, Boomerang was not vanilla. Okay, so here's the thing. Idunno has already been in Jabu and set furores. If Boomerang is in here, that's Idunno's game to lose. And then if Boomerang is not here, then I think Xavi might have the edge.
It really, really depends on where that ring ends up.
It really does. If Boomerang's in Deku, Idunno's ahead. If Boomerang is not in Deku, then I think I play Xavi ahead here. Because of good choices in Divergence.
Well, if it's not in here, Idunno will go ice. And then do water.
That's true. And
So
there's
if it's
also
not
the matter
here
that
or
the lights
ice,
could be in well too, that could make a difference. It still can be all dungeons, yes, Cards fan. There's
Yeah.
nothing stopping lights or Boomerang from being behind storms.
So if it's in here or in well, not well, in here or in ice, edge to Idunno, depending on light arrow location. If it's not in either, edge to
Xavi,
Xavi.
if it's in
yeah.
the well, Xavi.
Oh, there's a big chest.
No? We are missing a lot of our duplicate stuff, by the way. There's plenty of
True.
big chests left. We're missing a strength, we're missing 2 bows, we're missing our last slingshot or gold
Another scale.
Speaking of, that's good for Xavi though.
Yeah.
That'll CV'd up his Jabu trip. Speaking of that earlier. Yeah, we're missing a strength, our 2 bows, a slingshot, 2 wallets, of course that boomerang. We're also missing a lens, lights, and both tunics. I don't think we ever saw the Stone of Agony either, to add to our list of big items that we could find.
Yeah.
So there's definitely no guarantees on big chests, because we've gotten a lot of the required items, we just haven't gotten as many duplicates as we would in some other seeds. Compass room.
trying to think.
Basement.
Okay, well, last check left is coma.
Yep.
Would be kind of funny. Alright, here we go. AD is looking really good right now. But
It
I don't know,
really
make
is.
the ice play first. I 100% believe he would make the ice play first.
He honestly might. Just density, Saria Song has some checks there.
There's some checks behind Saria's too.
Yeah.
I don't know
Like-
if he'll go and do random check cleanup after ice, but he'll most likely go water and do the all dungeons play.
Mm-hmm. If it's on Goma, then idunno's ahead pending Light's location. If it's in the well, Xavi's ahead. I think more definitively, because idunno has yet to beat Water Temple. And I mentioned this earlier about how after Shadow, if they didn't find that boomerang, you could go with Child immediately and hope it's in Deku, or you could go Water, just get the boss key and beat Morpha playing towards AD, and that's basically our main divergence between the two right now in the late game is one did Water, the other didn't, and that's really the big thing. Nice link shot, Gabe. Thanks! Is it that idunno went straight Child? Xavi did the Water beforehand. Like, there's not really small things like the scales, the sorted overall checks, but it really is that. It really is just that. It's really that Water play that's the difference between these two runners currently. All versus Ice, pretty much, yep. Oh yeah, Cola. We never saw the Goron pod. It could just be sitting there.
Oh god.
There's nothing stopping it from being on the Goron pot. I don't think we ever saw chickens either, come to think of it. Or Dape decking.
Or Tektite Grotto.
Or that. Speaking of assorted overworld chicks we never got.
We saw most of the field, but we didn't see Tektite. Because that was out of the way.
I don't think anyone diverted over there. Because Xavi reversed Wasteland to GTG, I didn't went from Lake.
Yep.
So yeah, we've got assorted overworld checks, the well, ice. There are 3 items left in water. There's a couple Storm Grottos. Frogs 1 was my bet. We have seen a waterfall check in Valley. It was, I think, a bomb refill.
Oh, here's water from I don't know, it looks like. Yep.
Playing towards all dungeons now. Okay.
Alright, now is he a map first or compass first kind of guy? Because that'll determine how fast he gets that boss key.
Yeah.
I do think he'll check ice before going back Child, though.
Yeah, I think that's a decent. I mean, it's tough to say because Well's at density, but ice would save you another couple. You're already adult for ice, yeah. Note that Xavi did not choose to do Dape digging before this. This is perhaps thinking that maybe if the boomerang was there, my opponent would have gotten it by now.
So thinking the very common, if it's there, I lose.
Yeah.
Alright. 13 checks in here.
It is 13 items yet plus 3 keys. Is the boomerang in here? This is the density play, but there's no guarantees because it's random. After all, as I say that, here's a big check. And Lens. Thanks. The Lens game is now available. We never got a hint for that. That could be it.
So that's a French vanilla lens.
Yep. There's a key.
That other one's not a big chest. I don't think. That's not a big chest.
No, because if it is, you can see the corner peek out from underneath the pile of Rubble. Yes, Cards fan. That lens absolutely could give us Boomerang on Landscape. I mean, you don't leave for just a lens. You stick around for the rest of the checks.
Right.
But that is an additional chest. French
Yes,
vanilla is that
exactly,
an item is in the original region, but a separate check. Yeah.
All right, it's another key. All right, what about this coffin?
Momentarily forgot that we saw this check earlier from Xavi, and I was like, "Oop, big chest," and then I realized, right, yeah, that's just a boomerang. The slingshot, sorry, right.
Heart container.
Not boomerang.
Even if it's not required, we have seen all dungeons.
Yes, we have. I mean, Storm's just such compelling play.
Mm-hmm.
Even being behind what it was, it's Water and Deck with the Iron Beards being where they were. That's still just such a strong play. I'm not surprised we ended up seeing it eventually.
Yeah.
We do technically need to see Ice still for all side dungeons. I mean, it's not impossible. We are still missing our light arrows too, don't forget.
If we see ice, we'll have done a world tour.
Yeah. And this also does go to show the skill level of these runners, that they have done most of this thing. They've done most of the dungeons, they've done most of the overworld, and it's still only 2 hours and 20 minutes of gameplay, discounting that FPA. Which shows just how good these guys are, that they can do so much of the game in 2 hours and 20 minutes. Like, we don't have a lot left, frankly. We've got a handful of things in water, the remaining Storms lock checks, the loose ends like chickens, Dompe digging, and ice cavern area. Like, there's still some left, but there's not a lot. Like, they've done probably at least 80% of the game by now. In less than 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all our keys.
Yep.
I forget how long it takes Morpha to freaking die already.
That's a really, really long cutscene, yeah.
Alright, 2 checks left.
Yep. Locked pits and basement are all that's left here in the well. As Morpha goes down for idunno. And locked pit is...
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, there's Lens Game, 2 Storms Grottos, and Frogs 1, because that's a small chest in the basement.
Lens game. Oh god. So well's probably not the play here.
No, there was nothing in it.
Besides that lens.
Xavi's going to turn in letter, check rank chest vanilla, I think, and then go do Frogs 1 on the way down river.
Mm-hmm. I know getting his last 2 late checks here. Hopefully he'll go ice from here just because it's the best play. We know it's the best play. Yeah.
It's the best play that Xavi hasn't done, yeah.
Yeah.
What was it bust unless it was that French vanilla lens? And we're not going to find out for a few minutes. Shoot the sun.
No, he doesn't.
Time of day was right.
No, he shot it. It was time.
He shot it? No, man. Okay, no. Oh, Dompe digging is what he's
Dompe digging. Okay.
So this is going to be a child play. So Idunno's going to be following Xavi effectively into well here, which is not going to save him any time.
Mm-mm. If Rang is just deeper in water, oh god.
So if Rang is deeper in water, they're both going to be regretting their choices a little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is the better play in terms of density to go to the well. It's just that from our perspective, Idunno, the ice is what we haven't seen. But of course, the runners don't know that.
What? Is he gonna make it in time for be able to do Dompe digging?
He has Nocturne and Sunsong if it needs to be.
Right, but then why did he set time of day and then do this?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense. Oh, he's gotta pick up the song still.
He does need to pick up the
brain.
song, but I don't know if he'll have the time to think after getting the song.
Right.
Sky Dragon Ace just had a lot of other stuff to do besides domain checks. I didn't did these like 15-20 minutes ago, but these have been relatively recent. Lights are probably just in Ganon's, yeah, just because we've seen most of the game, there's not much left. Where's Strike 3? Probably also in Ganon's, there's not much left.
If this is bait all dungeons, I'm going to laugh.
I mean, it really could be. Okay, yeah, I didn't realize this time of day isn't quite it for Dompe digging. So he has to play Sun Song again for that.
He's gonna check Tektite.
Yeah.
If it's Tektite, this might actually save him time.
It might, really, yeah.
He's got the song now, so if it is in a Storms lock check, he has Storms, doesn't have to do water.
Xavi does remember to get the fish. Think, or nope.
No, he's not dipping.
No. He's just leaving immediately. Gonna go straight for those frogs, I guess. Alright, and Tektite Grotto is just a vanilla heart piece. Nope! Is Dompe digging it?
I'm gonna find out. Yes. For taunts, that's true. Dipping is when you go into a dungeon to check checks, even if you can't complete it.
Alright, here's 2 new checks at the same time. They're just slightly ahead of Xavi here.
Light arrows
that's light arrows on Dompe digging. Okay, well there's that answer. Well, that answers that question. And Frogs 1 is just the Deku Shield. Womp womp.
So all that's left for Storms is 2 Storms Grottos. And
Yep.
technically chess game because it was locked by it.
Yep. Oh my goodness. And this is Xavi heading back up the river to, I think, go back to domain now.
That or Kokiri Forest Storms Grotto play.
It could be either.
And
it's pretty close. On the, okay,
He's doing the Storms plays. He's gonna get both of the DMT Death Mountain Trail Grotto and Kokiri Forest Storms Grotto.
That's true. We don't know about
sorry,
sound checks.
well.
Nobody's been there. They're basically... I've mentally basically looped into Saria's checks with Ice Cavern for all intents and purposes.
Right.
Because Saria's is in ice, that was hinted, and we're not... And that's basically... Ice Cavern gives us that, so it's one of those, we're not doing it for a minute here. Between our 2 runners, we'll have pretty thoroughly cleared out most of the place, as that's not it either for Xavi.
There's 1 Storms Lock check left.
And that is the DMT Storm Strider, which is exactly where Xavi is going, as I know is going to be really quite disappointed by this lens, I think. Going to also see the Goron Pot and Hot Rodder from Xavi. Cannot do Darunia.
Pot. Oh god, pot.
Yeah, the pot is one of our outstanding checks. That's just a loose overall check that has just hasn't been able to be routed in, really.
Dompe Race had nothing,
was... Yeah. Dompe Race is useless.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, Dompe Race was nothing. I think it was a piece of heart and a rupee. And then, but Dompe Digging was our lights.
Yep.
Goron Pot is the boomerang.
There we are.
It was
Boomerang
the
on
Goron
the Goron
Pot.
Pot. Of all places, they spawned in Darunio's room, but they didn't have a way to but they didn't have bombs at the time to do it, and you can't do the choose strat easily without ZL. So, well, that is quite a boomerang location.
We could have had that like.
They could have had that
Child
2.5 hours ago. Like, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I had to choose and ZL, he just didn't play ZL, and yeah, Xavi does need lights, so, but I don't know, still has to get to,
It won't take him that long, and he has Furore set up in Jabu, so he's not as far behind, because after this, I think he'll go check the other Storms checks, which will push him to there.
I hope
He
so,
might
yeah.
even just save quit out of the well, into Darunia, you know? Because he doesn't have to do domain. He's already done domain, and yeah, hopefully.
I mean, it's hard to say right now. I
Yeah.
am going to go resolve that bet now.
I don't think anybody bet pot.
I don't think anyone bet the pot now. Okay, so premium bets. No one bet anything even remotely vaguely resembling. Goron pot, of course. So Pamela's father, Dodo, you win because that's the mean bet out of the slot. So have at it. And on the other side, Chris and Air, I think I'm gonna. And on this side, I will give Chris and Air the bet for unexpected place because that was definitely unexpected.
So depending on idunno's routing out of here, it might be a close race still. Yeah, 80 was complete
all that
bait.
was complete total bait. Gola did kind of call Goron pot a long while ago. Kyrie, this was anything but AD. They just did it anyway for the density. Xavi skipped early, choose Schultzer on the volcano. Not sure why. It might have just been a mispeak, I think, but he did not pick those up despite having hover boots. Yeah, these are just oops AD and it wasn't required, which probably doesn't feel very good for either of them, knowing that their opponent could have just gotten that boomerang a long time ago.
He did save quit, but in the well just to get him to the front. So that's not going to get him to Darunia. Unless he climbs up the trail here and decides to do... I don't know. Rang was Goron pot.
Yep. Yeah, Chris and there, you won with the unexpected place bet because nobody bet anything remotely close to that Goron pot. So... where is Idunno going? Chickens. Is where he's going.
Oh no.
Zalving needs to get lights in before Idunno finds Rang. Yeah, I don't know it. Commenting again is always a little awkward for me because of that. But I'm honestly not sure because Light Arrows on Dape digging is quite an awkward spot.
Mm-hmm. How can you not know we're commentating the racer? Ah, jokes.
Yeah, the clock is ticking. We do have it shortened to 4 chickens on Season 6 settings, so this is faster than before for Idunno, but it still takes like a minute or two, especially including a Sun Song play, so this is not 0 time spent getting the chickens into check.
Right. I would never, ever call chat predictable.
I was about to say the exact same thing.
This is River for Frogs.
Yeah, makes sense, honestly. Xavi doing boomerang chest here just in case this is lights. Sense he did not want to come back here.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not it, you use a little bit of time, but on the other hand, if you don't do it and have to come back, it is slow.
Right, and if he does play for the hint, he'll have to do another age change. 2, actually.
And that is also really slow.
Which could actually give, time back here, depending on when he gets up to where that ring is. You know?
I do need to step away for a moment. Be right back.
Yep. And the song? I wonder where I don't know is heading here. Back to chess minigame. Wow, he's really gonna last location that ring, isn't he? Wow. Okay. Yep, get your 1 and 32s in. As always, I'm all right. Go team right. I don't think G is one of them, Sin. Well, and I'm immediately out. That's 2 lefts. Hey, Lon Lon Ranch. LLR. R. LLRR. Hey, it could be Lon Lon Ranch Rudo's letter. This last one's left. It is. It's Lon Lon Ranch Rudo's letter. And the reward is... Bomb Choose. One in 32. Congratulations. He did save quit to Goron. That's a good thing. Will he check the pot before headed up? Yeah, this is a pot play. He's going to get his ring here. Be about half a Jabu behind, since he already done the basement.
Here, and I'm back.
He's about to, he did the 1 in 32. He did chess game, but he's getting his ring here.
Oh, I didn't know it's 1 in 32.
Yeah. It
And
was Lon
there's-
Lon Ranch Rudo's letter. Left, left, right, right, left. Yep. He's gonna go out here to Spirit Temple because it's his quickest way. Yeah, spawn was the Goron City. He's gonna go back up here because of his furores, and he's gonna be not actually, but I'd say the latter half of Jabu behind because he already done the basement stuff and Boomerang Chest.
Yeah. Xavi is going to go until get the data hint and then come and then go back Child for
Yeah.
the lights, which will take him a little bit of time. But he has Nocturne, he has Sun, so it's not too. He has Nocturne. Going to OGC will set his time of day actually, even so he'll be fine. It's still be
Right.
close though, because
Oh yeah.
it does take time to go do that.
Yeah. Okay. So well, it's gonna be close.
It's been a close race overall too, just generally. A lot of back and forth. A lot of wondering where stuff went.
Yeah. It's been a good race.
Yes.
I'd still say Xavi is ahead. It's just
But
it's gonna close the time gap.
yeah, they're closer than they appear because Xavi still needs lights.
Right. But it's a very close one.
It is. So, no, for those who are confused, Ganondorf will give you, when you go to talk to him, will give you a hint that says you'll never be without the light arrows from X region. And he will tell you where which region those lighters are in. So in this case, he'll tell you that those lighters are in the graveyard. So Xavi will get that hint and know that he has done everything else in graveyard and that it must be Dompe digging. So he will go right back south and do it immediately. Look, there is nothing else for him to do in graveyard but that. That's it. And he will get the hint.
Right. Yeah, it was a complete bait, Song of Storms. This was a Song of Storms-less seed.
Yep. They just did it anyway, because I don't honestly fault them with how many checks there was behind Storms and the placement of that ring.
Yeah, no, Ganon is specific between Graveyard and Kakariko. Because they are it's a loading zone.
Yeah. If you enter Graveyard, there is a white text on the screen saying the Graveyard, or something to that effect. So those are treated as separate hit regions for the randomizer.
Goofy.
I mean, Randombot has been on a mean streak lately. There's been some spectacular nonsense that's Randombot's given out. This one wasn't that bad, honestly.
Comparatively.
Yeah. Yeah, it was more oops than not AD. They just did it anyway, so that was understandable for both. Alright, 259. Nidano's Rudo has picked up the Fire Medallion on Nidano's side. Here's the sign office for Xavi. And we'll be done pretty soon.
I think it'd be more accurate to time when, well, I'm not sure how long it'll take him to go play Prelude. Or, yeah, save quit. Out. No, not save quit, just reset. Out. Get back into Temple Time either by playing Prelude or walking there.
Yeah, it's gonna take him a bit of time. It's not immediate. It does take a few minutes. But does Idunno have that few minutes? I don't think so quite. It's close, though.
Right, because going into Ganon's with lights from the Temple of Time, I believe, is exactly 6 minutes to finish. Or right around 6 minutes to get
6 minutes,
all the way to climb and beat Ganondorf and Ganon. Something like that.
Something, yeah, 6 or so minutes. And with that, happy 3 hours, everyone. This would have been a sub 2 seed if it weren't for that FPA, as a side note. But still a longer seed, for sure.
Right, shoutouts to our runners, Idunno and Xavi. Really close race, really hype race. Shoutouts to our trackers, Murr and Baseball. And a shout out to my co-com and the Restreamer Star. And I don't know, losing time to the box skip.
Yeah, and shoutouts as well to my co-com and to our race monitor, Scooby. Thanks so much for your work.
Yeah, no, this is definitely time loss on Idunno's side.
Yeah. That is a strat that I saves you the time only on the first or maybe second try. It doesn't save you time anywhere else. There's that reset from Xavi. And this is a close one.
Oh yeah, this is a very close one.
This is always a good thing to watch, because it's always a little sad when you've got a race that's just not close for whichever reason.
Right.
Be it someone pick a 50-50 between two stone dungeons and one person picked right, the other person picked wrong, or if just in miscounted keys or anything else. Sometimes races just don't end up being all that close, unfortunately, for any number of reasons. It's always nice to see a close one like this. It's been a good one to watch. I don't think I know quite enough time, because this is going to be lights for Xavi as Idunno gets the blue warp, basically.
Yeah.
And Xavi's already done all the fights in the tower, so... Doesn't help that idunno loses a smidge of time entering that blue orb from the wrong angle, because if you enter it from the wrong angle, the game will force you to turn slowly towards a rhythm before it'll let you leave, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah,
It's
idunno
little
still
things,
has to
but
do the climb.
it heads up. Yeah, and I think that climb's gonna be because even even aside from the climb being done, Xavi's ahead going back adult. So that is going to be GG's here unless something goes catastrophically wrong for Xavi.
Yeah, it's still very close though.
Very much so.
I'd say the climb will take him about 2.5 minutes.
We're gonna see a minuet here from Xavi, I think, to get furores. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the fastest one they have. I think it's minuet, then maybe Shadow's pretty close. Fire's a little bit further. Spirit's a little further if you want to use furores.
Yeah, Spirit and Fire are Spirit's a bit more walking, and then
Or you have to fall down the hole, so it takes a bit.
yeah.
But I think Shadow is slightly slower than Forest, assuming you've opened the entrance.
Yeah. It is definitely slower if you haven't opened the entrance.
Yeah. Alright, and yeah, Xavi Andorf as idunno spawns the Rainbow Bridge. Very close, but I think this will be a win for Xavi here. Oh, I guess water is pretty close to Spirit and Fire with Serenade, yeah, Cola, good point. You don't tend to see that ever, really, so that's why it doesn't come to mind.
Right. Yeah, so unless idunno really screws up this fight, we should be... Not idunno, Xavi. Yeah. Yeah, this is still very close, and it was a really good race.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a very nice one cycle from Xavi there. We asked before the race how Xavi, how the name was pronounced, just to be sure. He, and I quote, says, "There's really no wrong way to pronounce it." And so we started making the silliest pronunciations possible before the race started, just for the hell of it. But here's Ganon. Get ready for some pulled pork sandwiches. Yeah. And bacon. Yes, like Navi. X-Avi. Exactly.
Yeah, he just straight up said, I don't care, so...
Yeah. I would try and convert his name into Roman. Yeah, trolling a little bit there. I would try to turn his name into Roman numerals, but A isn't a Roman numeral.
No.
I mean, not... yeah, A isn't a numeral. What is wrong with my brain now? It's been a long seat, okay?
It has been.
This is GG's for Xavi with a time of 3:06:52 as idunno goes into the big pig.
GG's.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be really close still. He's already here. Might as well finish. And I believe we are getting Xavi in for an interview.
Yeah, we'll do him in here shortly once idunno finishes, and so he's right on his tail.
Sounds good. Ten and 6. Roar. Alright, it's first face down. It's GG's. Alright.
Just a couple minutes apart here. Very good race.
Oh yeah. This shouldn't take him too much longer. Oh, very quick. Alright. Finish up here. This cutscene takes longer than you think it does, especially when you're looking at times.
Oh, absolutely. And if your opponents have not finished, you're like, is there going to do? They're going to no, yes.
Oof.
There we are. GG's idunno finishing up 3:09:04, just 2 minutes and 12 seconds later.
That's gonna. Is that
GG's.
12 or is that 8 seconds? Oh, that's 12. 8 and then 4. Brain. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
2 minute
hard.
differences. Wow.
Yeah, GG. So with that, we will be joined for interview by Xavi. I know has chosen to decline, but GG's to him all the same. Good run this year, and we'll see him around, I'm sure. And with that, hey Xavi, GG's.
GG, Xavi.
Hello guys, GG.
What a seed.
Yeah, that was so close.
That last location, Boomerang and Goron Pot.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I mean there was ice left, maybe.
Ice.
Did
The
I
ice
do
was
not?
about the only thing we didn't see.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
We thought, we were thinking that, I don't know, would go ice before doing water, but ended up doing water first and then going back child to do all the AD checks like you did.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did water before I went to child, just to save some time for switching ages.
Right.
Yeah, you guys were really, really close finishing Shadow. Like, you guys had done some divergences here and there, but like, you guys ended up being about a minute apart entering Shadow and pretty similar leaving it, I think.
I think they were about 35 seconds leaving, actually,
Oh wow.
because of Xavi having trouble getting onto the boat.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
biggest part.
Oh,
You falling off the boat. Yeah, so you guys were like a minute. You guys were super close entering and leaving Shadow, but then you went water before going Child just to get that AD part done. I
Mhm.
don't know, pretty much went Child there right away and did some overall checks as well, and then you guys went Deku at about the same time.
Okay.
But
Kinda lucky that I checked Goron Pot first, I guess.
yeah,
Right. Still, complete bait all dungeons.
oh
Yeah,
my
sad.
goodness, that was a fate.
This seed
Storms?
was screaming all dungeons though, pretty long.
Yeah. And it's pretty fast to do, so that's why I did it.
Yeah, especially with that early long shot.
Yeah.
That really helped.
True,
Mhm.
true. Also,
Though your
I'm
path
kinda sad
didn't
I
work the
didn't
best.
I didn't go to GGG the first time I was in Fortress.
Right.
I could have gotten the mirror shield right there, but
And
yeah,
then
that
cleared
happens.
spirit on your first run.
Yeah.
Well, moving up in the lower brackets here, you will face the winner of either G Skate or Sponge.
Yeah. That's insane.
two very good runners to face, and early in losers too. It's only losers round 3, but this has been some competitive brackets this year.
Yeah, it's not getting easier.
No, it is
No, it
not.
was.
Oh man, but that was a very well played race from you. We had some back and forth for a while because, like one one of the earlier divergences was that
I
I
miss
don't know got
The Bolero song.
yeah, I didn't know got the bomb shoes off
Uh,
the volcano and ZL very early, so I had a little bit of
Which I
um,
meant to ask, you didn't grab those. Did you just mispeak it, or?
I thought there were bombs.
it's
I
bomb
guess I
Oh,
shoes.
mispicked it. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, because we were wondering why you didn't pick them up. It didn't ultimately make a huge difference, but I don't know, was a little bit more efficient in the early game with those shoes. It was a 20 pack too.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
But he did have ZL. He had both bomb shoes and ZL when he stayed with his child the first time, but didn't do the Goron pop for whatever reason.
Oh, no.
And
Yeah.
well,
Oh,
yeah, that kind of hurts in hindsight.
yeah, true.
Yeah. You could have had
Uh,
that ring 2.5 hours earlier.
yeah. Oh man, but like there was, I mean, and then he got the strength from SFM earlier too, so he went
Oh, okay.
forest pretty quickly in Adult 2, whereas you went Fortress, you got the strength from there, and then you went eventually, and then you went Forest. So there was a little bit of like back and forth,
Oh, okay.
but you both ended up in Spirit. You both ended up finishing Spirit at about the same time. Then you both went Shadow, and then you split from there. Like
Sounds
you guys went
like an
different
interesting match.
routes, then you came back together again, then you diverged again. It was back and forth for a while.
And then I don't know, actually got the light arrows before he did before he got the boomerang.
Oh, that's great. That's some time save, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to switch ages again for that. But with Faroes, it
Yeah.
wasn't not that bad, I guess.
I had to ask at the end there, after finally finding that ring, did you think you were way behind?
I was thinking that I'm pretty behind because I did AD and cleared well and Frogs won and yeah, so many unnecessary checks.
Yeah. Makes sense. I don't know. I actually also did the treasure chest game.
What was that?
Bomb juice.
Oh, another one. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We finally got all the sometimes hints. All the skulls were dead this seed, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty funny. Davis on 10, and then the rest were hinted.
I mean, there was Navruz on 10.
Yeah. That was funny. Your path hints were not the most helpful this seed, to be honest. We never figured out what exactly SFM Festival Bachi was, I don't think. I mean, it gave me
Yeah.
a Requiem and a Strength. I assume maybe Strength 3 was available for a while on OGC, maybe? I'm honestly not sure why that was there. Or it might
Was
have
that
been
the first bomb
Deeper
back
in
in
Water
Spirit?
Temple? No, first bomb. Well, no, DMT Fairy was available. You could have used Hammer.
Oh, yeah.
And
Where
you
was
can
the
also
bow?
get
I
a
don't
child's.
remember. That's...
Bow was in Richard.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Um, I mean, I guess the wallet might be like deeper in Water Temple or something because the SFM Path to Evolve has to be for your wallet or tunic. We just never saw
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Kind of a useless hint.
True.
Forest Path to Bongo for Dins, okay. Fortress Path to Twin River for Strength, sure. Nice Rudos
Great.
on Bongo Path to Baronade. And the
Found the
menu
correct
at
way
Path
to
to
land.
Phantom Ganon
Great shot.
wasn't very useful.
Yep. Especially because by that time we got the Ice Song Serenade with Saria's, so we had narrowed it down to what the songs were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't. Yeah, that that path hit was not helpful. That's how the randomizer goes sometimes. Just nice boomerang spot.
And it's
Yeah.
even funnier because your save quit for child was in Goron City.
True. Oh.
And it's in front of Darunia.
Yeah. Actually, not in that bad of a spot, right?
Yeah, it's just y'all ended up skipping it
Yeah,
because either you didn't have bombs or didn't know the bomb shoe strat or something.
whatever it is. Yeah, because you didn't have explosives or ZL when you save quit that first time, Xavi. Idunno chose to not do it for whatever reason he chose to not do it for, and then you guys just never went back for.
Well, they didn't
2.5
spend much
hours.
time as child, to be honest, until
That's
the
true.
end. That's actually kind of true, Cola. Could have done it before Deku, since it might be a bit faster than Minuet to get there.
Yeah,
That's
that's true.
true.
That's faster. But I thought about it that like more checks in Deku, faster way to the well.
Yeah. And
Maybe
honestly, you probably weren't even thinking about going towards Goron City until after you had Song of Storms and had already done well for the grotto.
Yeah.
I believe that's all of my questions and comments.
Pretty much the same. I don't know if Chet has anything else to ask. But if not, let's do some shoutouts here. Give both of our runners a follow. Idunno and Xavi. Thank you so much to my co-com Mad Monk Adam and to our trackers Mare and Baseball, as well as to our race monitor Scooby. Thank you so much for all your work.
And of course, shout outs to Star, Calming, and Restreaming.
Yeah, thanks for the restream, guys.
Oh, yeah,
GG's.
anytime. Good luck in your next matches. Do you have a preference for facing Sponge or G-Skate, or are you just scared of them both?
I'm scared of both. Doesn't matter.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
But good luck. Going to be two very tough opponents. Anyway.
Oh, come on,
So-
fingers.
Typing is hard. So, yep, as mentioned, either Sponge or Cheesecake will be the next opponent for Xavi here. They will. It looks like they have yet to schedule their match. So, but once it is on the schedule, we will see if we can get that race stream, pending what else is going on, of course. As well, it's coming up ahead on the CSR schedule. I will get it solid prediction once I get a chance to talk. The schedule coming up here is at 6 p.m. Eastern in just over an hour and 20 minutes. We'll have the Ocarina of Time Randomizer and a weekly race tomorrow. Here on CSR Main. Tomorrow we've got the OTE weekly race at 9 a.m. Eastern. Angle versus Czech race at 10 a.m. 10:20 a.m. Eastern. You've got the Mishcap Randomizer weekly race. And then there's also two more matches. And there's one more match tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll have losers round 2. Rock Chalk versus Marceau Lyon 64 will be at 2 p.m. Eastern. So. Plus, plenty of more matches, of course, coming up throughout the week. Keep an eye out also for the Random Seconds League Season 5 quarterfinals here coming up throughout the week as well.
Oh, gamble payout Star.
I will do that when we outro here in a second, because I can't type and talk and look at 3 screens at once. Come on. I am also a restreamer. That shall be it here for us tonight. We'll hope to see you all back in about an hour and a bit for the NE Weekly. Until then, though, we're going to go over and say hi to the Silver Gauntlets. They are restreaming a match of the Challenge Cup Group M here between DTJ Melons and Fant. To decide the fate of Group M, will Fant move on to brackets, or are they going to have a 3-way tie? Let's go find out. Thanks for watching, all. We will see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.